Oh, my Critical Role?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I like Critical Role.
The show though.
Can they hear us? Because I know last night we could hear each other while we were still on count.
Welcome, everybody. Sorry you're seeing the back of me. Welcome, everybody. This is ZealZaddy. I'm Scott Coventry, and I'm the DM and storyteller for this campaign. This is our first episode, our first real episode of Season 1, Episode 1. It's really exciting to get started with a campaign. We haven't done one since before the pandemic that we've streamed. So this is very exciting for us. A whole bunch of new players that we've not played with. One that we have, one that we almost did, and then 3 others brand new to us. So that's really exciting. The title of tonight's episode is Ink is the Sky or Fayelinn. So that'll be, you can kind of keep that in the back of your mind as we start. We play every Saturday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you're Central, it'll be 7:30, Mountain, 6:30, West Coast, 5:30. I don't know what time it would be in London. I think they're 6 hours ahead. I don't know. Be the middle of the night already. So before we get started, take a moment and give us a follow. You can find us everywhere at /ZealZaddy. And that would be Twitch, YouTube, Patreon, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. The only one it's not is Discord, which if you go down in the bottom there to the About, you can click on there and there'll be a button that'll take you to Discord. And you can join us there. After the game, some of us will go on Discord and just chat about the night. 2 of our players, by the way, are publishers, and you can see on the screen there's 2 pieces of published content. One of them is the Tome of Arcane Philosophy. That piece is a pretty amazing piece of writing that gives you good arguments about why one particular study of magic is favored by certain people, and it gives you arguments for everyone. And it's the kind of thing where you occasionally run into the need for a good argument. And it really is beautifully set up for that. I'm going to let Arian talk about it a little bit when we come on. It just went copper about a week and a half ago. If you can, go give it a look. If you like it, buy it. Let's push it to silver and then gold. I would love to see that happen. That'd be really exciting. The other one is Children of Tiamat. That is by Morgan. He'll tell you a little bit about it too, but it's a subrace of Dragonborn that are 2-headed. He'll get into all of it. It's pretty cool. I can't imagine 2 heads being anything but better than 1. So with that said, let's get to introductions and let's let the players talk about themselves a little bit. All right, let's go top row across and then we'll go to the bottom row. So that would be Morgan first. Arian. All right, let's go to Brandon. He's yeah. Maybe should I? All right, let's go to Jazz then, real quick, or next. Not real quick, at whatever speed you want. All right, Dylan. That counts. Dylan also is a musician, although not at the moment because of the broken arm. Obviously, I guess he plays the bass, and I think he has in the back of his head the idea of doing some music for D&D, which would be super cool. And we would love to push that out one day whenever you have that ready. So we went through 3 nights over the last 3 nights of solo or duo sessions. They were a lot of backstory content, things to sort of set up the beginning of tonight. It got everybody where they needed to be and prepared everyone for a little bit of how the world is. Although, for the most part, the world to all of these players is one island with only one player who's actually not from here. Everyone at the end of their sessions ended up in one spot, which is converging on the town center, which is a big round area in the middle of town with a huge standing stone that reaches about 50 feet up into the air that they've wrapped with these ribbons to make it almost like a big top. And in there, they're preparing for what's called the Festival of Mists. In the festival, the whole town engages, and a lot of people visit from other towns because it's such a big festival. It's exciting. There's a lot of the things that people love to do in parties. There's dancing and singing and all kinds of shenanigans. That's one of the best words around now. So this common area in the center, you can see decorations and streamers reaching all the way out almost, and then dropping and leaving a walking area all the way around it. Outside of that, there are oil lamps that are burning oil to create light. Although at the moment they're not because it's not night. But they actually keep the major streets lit at night because the place is way up north. There's plenty of whale blubber and whale oil that they use to burn. And at the moment, everyone is setting up for the festival. They're running the streamers and the ribbons, and children have these ribbons tucked into the back of their pants, and they're running through crowds and streaming these tails behind themselves that go 15 or 20 feet, and everyone's having fun. Everyone that's a kid is having fun. Everyone that's not a kid is working very hard to make this a beautiful festival. There's a lot of handmade ribbons that the kids have given to a lot of the adults, and as everyone has been converging, they see this man, this half-elf, up on a ladder up near the top of the standing stone, dropping rings over the top that they can run streamers off of. He is wearing a loincloth and nothing else. And from where we ended last time, on one side of him is Vesrin. On another side, coming in from the road, is Meadow and Kian. Coming in from the from the docks is Eslav, and on the ladder is Morkant. So everybody is now in the same place for different reasons, but there are definitely some things going on. There's also a light fog starting to come in, not a heavy one, which is good because it makes it more difficult to set up. Morkant, you're finishing up there, and you see a lot of people looking at you again. Not that was unexpected. You did it the first time, and there were even more people looking at you. Okay, so you finish up and you start coming down. Okay. While you're there, Kian, looking at this guy, you hear, Kian! And you hear your mother's voice. She's coming up to you from across the commons. I mean, not at a fast pace because she's getting older, but at a good pace. You made it. And she comes up and gives you a big hug. I said I was going to come to Fayelinn and I was going to come visit some friends here. I haven't actually been able to enjoy the festival in, well, you know. I got in 3 or 4 days ago. I've been helping set up some of the ribbons, and I've been working with the kids making the little ribbons that they give to all the adults. It's beautiful. I never really saw the festival this way. How are you? I'm Guri, and she has this wrap over her arm that has all these little ribbons on it that look like they're little handmade ribbons that children would do. Don't worry, the kids are going to give you a lot of ribbons, so you don't have to worry about whether you're going to get some. And she immediately takes Oh no. I'm done with that. This was my first year not doing that. I do not. Not now. Maybe I will in a year. So who are your friends here? So this is Meadow, and then the old man goes, I'm Mr. Holly. And it takes her a moment, and then she her eyes widen, and she gets a little recognition. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. He's one of the acolytes. He got the honor for being the youngest of the new acolytes so he got to be, I think the word that they used was hazed. I don't think he knows that that's the word. Sure. But there's only one up there. They paid you in advance. Yeah. It's a ritual for one acolyte who's earned it by being the youngest acolyte of the season. Moved up from an initiata, I think is what they call them. The young ones go from initiatas to acolytes to whatever is above that. Oh, are they only hearing me? They are only hearing me.
Sorry, I just had
Somebody
that
talk?
open. I saw that. Can you hear us now, Paradox?
Can you hear anyone now?
Let me see. I'll just turn the audio on the other end and see if I can hear us.
We've
I
had
can hear us now.
10 viewers
We had 11 at once.
this whole
All right.
time.
Thank you.
And Paradox like,
And
all right.
we should record the Zoom call just to be safe.
Yeah, I am recording it.
Oh, perfect.
Awesome. Perfect.
Excellent.
No, the call itself or the Twitch?
Thank you, Paradox.
Oh,
Yeah, thank you.
anyway, cool. Good to go. All right.
So-
yeah.
Your mother's there. I do have to go back and help the kids. You know, we're going to be moving them over to the play area in a little bit. They're going to do some more ribbon making. But it's really nice to see you. I'll see you later. You're going to stay and enjoy the feast at least, right?
Sure. Yeah. Why not?
And you do know the feast it costs nothing and the food is spectacular.
Oh.
And there's free ale.
I'll think about it.
Okay.
Try to say, I'll be there, but I don't say that.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. I'll just take care of whatever is going on here. Yeah. See you later.
And Eslav, you see this person coming down off the standing stone, and the gnome that was walking you over, she lets go of your hand and she says, "That's Morkent." Slightly offended still at your comment earlier.
Well, I'll give the gnome a nod and then approach Morkant.
And she turns and heads back to the docks.
And I'll approach him and I'll go, I was told you have work for me. First of all, do I understand what a half-elf is yet? Or do I only know that there's humans and elves?
You were explained at the docks that there are other races, and you know of there's at least elves, half-elves, gnomes, kinku, tabaxi. You've seen all of those in the span of a 20-minute walk. So obviously your worldliness is expanding really rapidly.
Right.
Vesrin, on the other side, you see Morkant come down and some dragonborn go over towards him.
I will move closer to see if I can hear, but I don't want to necessarily intrude on their conversation. Not right away.
Okay. All right,
And I'll just kind of study Morkant for a little bit. I'll just look at him, just like kind of amazed that my mother got his likeness so correct.
And Morkant, you have all these people starting to come around you as you come down. They're patting you on the back, congratulating you, and then other people you don't know are coming up to you and talking to you.
One of them is about over 2 feet taller than you.
Yeah.
And is also half naked.
Used to it.
A couple of guys being half naked in a crowd.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong there. So I'll turn back to you, and then in Draconic, ask you what type of job are you looking for?
He sort of blinks in surprise. He's like, you speak my language?
I had to learn a few languages as I grew up. Do you come from the north or the south?
I am from very, very far north.
Oh. All right. Well, yeah, what exactly are you looking for?
He's going to look around and go, frankly, I don't even know what's happening.
Oh, you
This
haven't
is all
been...
totally new to me.
Well, I'm going to head back to the Soul to get dressed. Why don't you come with me and we'll get you set up there so you have a place to stay and whatnot, and then we can figure out what you can do. Does that sound good?
He'll nod.
Then I'll begin leading him to the Soul.
As I see them walking away, I will approach. Like, say, excuse me, sir. I know it's cold and you need to get inside, but I was hoping I could perhaps catch a moment of your time when you're dressed.
I'll just turn to him and be like, I'm heading over to the Soul when I get dressed. You can meet me over there, or you go in and come with us.
I will say you notice that, I'm wearing very nice robes. I'm an elf, and you would see a medallion with the same symbol as like my sister.
As much as I would notice that, at this point in time, I think my only focus is to get some pants on.
Yeah.
I lean over to Meadow and I'm like, wow, loincloth dude is really popular here, huh?
Aren't they everywhere?
The festival?
I will take my horse and I'll lead it behind you to follow as well.
All right, so I will, at a brisk walking pace through the crowd, get back to the Soul.
Kian, one of the people that's following him looks moneyed.
Oh, good for him.
Just so you know.
Yeah, no, I mean, rich looking elf. Actually, you describe yourself. Why don't you? I want to get this from everybody.
Ezrin has long, straight black hair, green eyes, soft copperish skin, stands about 5'3" tall, and has a thin, muscular build. You do notice that, like I said, his dark robes are very high society. He looks like he's more out for an outing than anything else. And he has, I don't know if would he see the symbol from where he's at? My family symbol on my medallion?
It's not that big.
You got jewelry on, maybe. I don't know. I wouldn't pay that much attention to it.
But yeah, I seem to be wearing that, and I do have a staff, a nice horse, and you see a dagger at my side as well.
What about the big dragonborn?
Vestlov is 6'7", weighs about 315 pounds. His scales at the moment are this really light gray. He's got dull yellow eyes and two twisted horns. One of them is snapped off at the end a little bit.
Cool. I would.
He's wearing really thick furs, and he's not wearing them sparsely. Or at the moment, he's only wearing pants, and you can see he kind of looks like he's hot. He's sweating a little bit, profusely, if you will.
Yeah, I clock both of them. One of them looks maybe magic. The other one looks like a potential threat, and just sort of take them into stride.
Okay. As you're in
I worry about the poor naked dude.
Yeah.
He doesn't have that much in possessions.
Across the commons, you see two elves that you know.
Mm-hmm.
One is named Tellin, and the other one is named Caswallan, and they are scouts.
From different places. Okay.
And they're not particularly friendly with you. You're not enemies. They're just
rivals, so to speak.
Yes,
yeah.
Correct.
Okay. All right. I'll lean over. Okay. Listen. I don't know what your plan was here once you got to town. I can put you up somewhere. You and Mr. Holly. There's a couple places that are decent. Did you have anything in mind for your plan?
She kind of looks over to Mr. Holly and is like...
He looks at you. I have to get back to town soon. I'll probably stay just for the festival, and then I have to go back.
I didn't really have a plan.
Wow.
I've come to just kind of enjoy myself and find a job, I guess.
What kind of skills you got?
And she looks around like, can I tell you later?
I don't see why not.
Okay.
Okay.
Later,
Let me.
then.
I'll take you to a decent enough place. Let's go.
Coming off the town center, there's smaller roads that have inns and taverns. The taverns are all closed because they're all setting up outside for the festival, and there are barrels all outside the festival. They're setting up outdoor places, but the inns are open for people, but it may be hard to find space.
Sure. Do I know a reasonable place? I mean, it may be an inn, not an inn. What? Yeah, it's your call.
you've been here enough times. You know
Yeah.
pretty much where all the inns are, and you know the quality from top to bottom. You know
Yeah.
which ones are better.
Moderately good. Yeah. One of
Okay.
the 3 or 4 star.
Okay. You head down the road to a decent part of town with
Yeah.
3 or 4 star inns. And you get into one, and there's one called the Anselm.
Okay. Hoy there. I gotta get a couple of rooms in here for how long does the festival go, Scott?
It usually goes. It has one huge night, which would be tonight, and then, assuming there's no ascensions, then it will go on for 2 more days. But each day it lessens. It starts dropping off. It might be half as many the next day, and then half as many again the next day,
All right.
and then it's gone.
Call it 3 days for now. Whatever you
Okay.
got.
All right. And you get it, and the innkeeper. I only have 1 room left, and it's small.
Sure. Yeah. Why not?
Would you like us to put some hay down and some
That'd
furs
be
for a second?
that'd be
person?
lovely. That'd be great. You don't have any objections to this, do you?
To what?
All right, we're fine.
She's like generally confused. Like,
Just give it the one. It's fine.
Okay. And this one is 2.5 gold a night.
Done. I'll pay him. Call it 10. Screw it.
Okay. Whoa.
Yeah.
Would you like a bigger room? Maybe we can get someone to move for
It's
you.
fine. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
We'll make sure that you have a meal in the morning.
Much obliged. All right. You got much stuff to take with you, Meadow?
I have some things, yes.
And a dog.
Oh yeah. What's your pet policy?
Everybody has the same pet policy. If it's your animal, it's your animal.
All right. Whatever. All right. Looks like there's gonna be okay. The 3 of you can hole up in here for a couple of days. We'll figure something out. But all right, let's go. We'll go unless
You go see the room. It's
Sure.
it's pretty. It's fairly plain, but not uncomfortable. There is an actual bed in there. They're going to bring in something to make a second comfortable space, but it won't be a bed. It'll be on the floor.
That's fine. I mean,
There's a
Holly needs a place
window.
to sleep, so I'll figure my arrangements. But
Okay.
no, we got how many hours before the festival really kicks into gear?
Oh, it's morning right now. There's hours and hours before it really kicks in.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna do a little restocking. You need anything?
Mr. Holly says, no, I'm very appreciative. Thank you. I'll make sure that you get repaid once we return, I suppose.
Fun.
Your mother makes ribbons?
What?
Among other things, yeah.
Could I possibly maybe get one?
Sure, I will get you a ribbon, no problem. I'll leave.
Okay.
Do some basic shopping now that I'm back in town after a week.
Right.
Maybe find a bathhouse or something and just clean up. Errands.
All of that stuff is operating. The only things that aren't operating are restaurants and taverns. And that's because everything's moving out to the street festival. A lot of what's happening with the shops is they're putting it's turning into a bazaar around the town center. You know, it wraps around the town center as like a street with little tents, and everyone's selling from out of there at the moment.
Yeah.
Back with
Nothing interesting.
with Morkant, you get to the soul, and you have your entourage behind you.
So, what would be my normal procedure for getting someone a place to stay in the soul for him? So I imagine I would know what to do already.
The big man.
Yeah. In the soul, basically, it's a huge common room, and everybody gets hay and furs, and there's people in there. The initiatas are in there helping people find a place to bed down and have a place of warmth. There's a huge fire that runs in the middle of the building, and all the rooms wrap around the center, so the fire is big enough it warms the whole outside for several floors, and then it's open air in the middle here.
All right. I'll turn to my Dragonborn companion here and be like, well, we can find you a place to stay here, and I'll ask around to see if anyone's looking for work. The ships have kind of stopped, so I know there's no fishing for the rest of the season until the winter's over. But I'm sure we can find you something. What are your skills?
He's going to look down at his bulging pectorals and rippling biceps. I am quite strong. I can hold a conversation. I can work for hours on end. Manual labor would be my best fit.
No, I'm sure we can find you something. And then I'll just lead him to whoever can help him get a place to at least sleep.
Okay. Right here is where you'd hand them off to one of the initiatas, and they'll find them a place, and they'll put some hay down and some furs.
And now that I'm in the warmth of the fire, I'm going to go ahead and turn over and just be like, so my finely dressed elven friend, how may I help you?
Is there some place we can talk a little bit more privately?
Yeah, I have a room. We can head over there. Come with me.
All right,
And then I guess I'll lead him to my room.
All right. I'll stand outside while you get dressed, and then we can speak.
Okay. I'll get dressed so it's less awkward for both of us.
Yeah, yes, thank you.
I get dressed and I invite you in.
I'll look around while I'm waiting to make sure like nobody's like really watching.
It's a long curved hallway that wraps around maybe wraps around the building. The building is round. It's not a square building. And it sort of tapers in towards the top. At the top it's open air, but not in the rooms to the side. They catch their warmth from the central fireplace, from the center fire. And looks like it's good strong stone that's made of.
All right. So once he invites me in, I'll come in and I'm sorry to disturb you. You look like you're very busy with this festival this year.
I had to do the ring thing out there, and now I probably need to get to cooking and whatnot from this point on. But whatever I can do to help, that's what we're here for. How can I help you?
So, I really don't know how to explain this to you without it sounding crazy. My mother was a powerful wizard. She also had a gift for sight. When I was about 50 years ago, as a child, she began drawing this picture. And I asked her if she knew who this man was, and she told me no. About 2 days ago, my sister showed me the finished picture. And I'll reach into the scroll and pull it out. This is who she was drawing.
And it's you.
I'm just going to give a heavy sigh and be like, did Moraine put you up to this?
This is no joke, my friend.
I mean, standing on that ladder was enough. This is just nonsense.
This is no joke. My mother drew this. I remember it as vividly as it was yesterday, as a child. And she told me, I asked her, who is this? And she said, I don't know. Maybe it's somebody I'll meet one day, or maybe it'll be somebody you meet. And then as I walk into this town, there you are, standing up above everyone. I'm hoping perhaps that maybe you can guide me to whoever my sister wrote. I don't know who that gentleman is. It's another one of your acolytes, perhaps. Maybe that's why I was meant to meet you.
Yeah, I don't know who your mother is. I don't know who your sister is. But I'm going to let you know right now, this is really weird, dude.
I'm sorry. My apologies. I did not introduce myself. I'm trying to process it as well. My name is Vezrin Madrick. My sister
Nice
is
to
Roth.
meet you, Evan.
You've
My
heard
sister
that
is-
name.
I know I have. I've
Okay.
heard both those names.
Yeah.
What did you say your sister's name was?
Rotha. She contacted an acolyte. She did not tell me who it was, but perhaps that's why my mother's picture led me to you, to where I can find this acolyte.
And why did she contact one of us?
My mother disappeared 44 years ago, or should I say, ascended. We're trying to understand some things. Do you know what a sound hole is?
I do not.
When people ascend, where they ascend from is a spot that is void of all sound that you can hear. When you stand in that spot, you can't hear anything. It's like everything is gone. It usually only lasts for a moment, maybe a few minutes, an hour at the most. We, for a long time, did not know where my mother ascended from. But the picture that led me to you was also with some other pictures that led my sister to where our mother ascended. And we found the exact spot where our mother ascended. And the reason why we were able to is there's still a sound hole there.
And how did you recently come upon this picture of me?
It was in my mother's belongings. We haven't opened them in years, but me and my sister have been trying to understand what happened. And it's very weird that my mother would have drawn you 50 years ago. You didn't even look like you are now. You don't even look like you're 50.
I am not 50. I was not alive 50 years ago.
And yet my mother saw you.
Now, did you see her draw this finished picture?
I saw it before it was painted. And it looked like you. It just, with the paint, it's definitely you.
Are you sure your mother is the one who painted it, though?
100%. Nobody else has touched this kit.
Just you.
My sister is the one who handed it to me.
You see, here's my concern. Your sister has also sent me a letter.
You're the acolyte that she wrote?
Yes. And if your sister had sent me a letter and sent you a picture of me, then that's less of a coincidence than your mother, isn't it?
No, here's the thing. I asked my sister. And out of my family, her and my twin are the only two I trust. Rotha has never lied to me about anything. In fact, I'm only here because she is so honest that she saved my life. I asked her when she handed me this picture if she knew who this man was, and she did not know either. I think it's just, I don't know if it's fate or dumb luck that my sister happened to write you, and you happen to be the same person that my mother drew. I don't understand it.
It's all quite convenient, but I guess the question comes down to what exactly do you and your sister want from me?
Answers. Guidance. Obviously we know that there are certain rules that you have to follow. I mean, we're just trying to get a better understanding of what might be causing this sound hole to exist. It shouldn't exist. If we can figure out where other people disappeared at, maybe we can understand more about these sound holes. Maybe that can lead us to understanding more about this ascension.
And
maybe it might even tell us where they went.
Why do you want to know more about the ascension? And just as a heads up, inside this soul, I wouldn't bring that topic up. It's kind of touchy for a lot of us in the faith.
I understand. I just want to know where my mother went. I want to know why that sound hole's still there.
Outside, with with Kian. You head to where the bazaar is setting up, and there's things to purchase or what have you. And when you get out there, you see another train coming in. But this is not a typical train. This is a train of performers. They always look fancy, and they have, you know, pretty carts and things. But you also know that one thing that they bring is risk of loss of material things. That they tend to pickpocket and steal things.
Sure. Okay.
And they come in like acrobatics, doing dancing, and the kids are just swarming them. They're so super excited. The children are chasing with the little tails behind them, running, and it's kind of a fun and beautiful sight. But boy, you know what happens when they arrive. So,
I mean, I clock them. Again, it's sort of just like taking note of what's going on, but I don't have any reason to approach.
Yeah.
They want to take stupid people's money. That's their problem. That's not.
Yeah, and they start spreading out.
I put a hand on my pouch just to be safe for a second.
Right.
Like, it's there. Okay.
And they just start spreading out amongst the people and doing some are singing, some are dancing, some are doing, you know, just amazing acrobatic moves, things like that. And the people are cheering it on. They're super excited seeing it come in. The other train leaders, the elven ones, you can see they're still over in the same area. It looks like they're actually having some ale, but they do the same as you, and they check their purse, and they sort of one of them puts his sword out in the sheath in front of them, just as a warning.
Mm-hmm.
And they avoid them. They know to avoid that.
Yep.
It's those who know versus those that don't.
Yeah. No, I mean, go back through shopping. Eventually stop by my mother's, wherever she is, in that open, like, she's kind of right at the center of things, right?
No, she had crossed over to, there's a field.
Okay.
And there's a bunch of children out there, and they're all making more ribbons. She's not like a ribbon maker. She's just helping the kids do them.
Yeah.
That's all. So, the kids are really doing, you know, they're having a blast. It's fun for them. It's like crafts at the summer fair or something, summer festival.
Yeah, I'll swing by. The woman is with me. She wanted one of the ribbons.
Oh, children, can you make a full band of ribbons for a friend? And they're like, yeah, and they get some cloth. You know, they have some bands that people will wear, kind of like a Girl Scout band.
Yeah.
And they'll start putting ribbons all over it and decorating it, making it really pretty. It'll be ready in a little while. I'll bring it to you. Where will you be at?
The Anselm.
The Anselm. Okay.
Yeah.
You're gonna be there all day? That's not like you.
Well, if I can find a field in which to curl up and get some reading done, I'd appreciate that. Other than that, waiting for the ale to start flowing. I mean,
make me a perception check.
Sure. Oh, natural 20, 26.
Okay. You've gotten pretty good at spotting who are the people who are local and who are visitors. And there's a lot of conversation, like kind of under the breath of people. And when children come by, they stop talking.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they don't want the kids to hear what they're talking about. But there's a lot of conversations about things that seem ominous, dark. Things like, it can't be one of the years. The clerics are in full force this year, and their numbers have just grown. Another place you hear, I heard that the moon will be blue this year, and it never happens on a blue moon. And the one he's talking to is like, my mother disappeared when I was 6 on a blue moon. You can't tell me that it won't happen. I think it was a blue moon. Are you sure? Maybe Awak will know. We'll go ask him later. And then the fog kind of rolls in a little bit heavier. And then old Carrie Waits raised a bunch more foxes. He's doing a good job of keeping mischief at bay. And it's a traditional sort of counter omen thing to raise foxes and release them into the woods in the area, because they keep they don't raise chickens and stuff here, so they don't worry about that, but it does keep rodents out of the town and stuff like that.
Am I still with my mother?
As you're walking around, your mother's there. Sure.
Cool. No, it's up to you. I'm just curious. Do you have any weird trouble getting in on the way?
No, but it's the first time they charged me the coppers to enter.
Well, I'll get used to that. Whatever. But we had a weird experience out on the road, outside the forest. Something got in people's heads and started messing with them, sending them away out into the forest. We managed to keep them all together, which, saves me a lot of hassle. But
something like that happened once before, but years and years ago. It was like something playing tricks in people's minds and frightening them, and they were panicking, and we lost 2 people that night.
Oh, wow. So I did better than you.
They disappeared into the woods, yes.
Oh.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And you had a big train, right? Your train was huge.
It was even more impressive. But did you kill it? Did you manage to stop it, or...
No, we never found what it was.
Yeah.
But 2 people went missing that night, and they never returned. That's what happens if you run out into the woods and you don't know what you're doing. Sometimes even if you do.
Yeah. All right. I got a couple things I want to look into. First, I'll stop by. I want to ask the same thing of the elves. I'll sort of just, if they're sitting at a table somewhere, I will just unannounced walk up, sit down, like pull up a chair, sit down next to them, look at the sword on the table.
Their eyes open up when they see you.
Yeah. Keep your pants on. Anything weird happen to you on the way in? I'm hearing talk. Assuming you're not too drunk, I'm assuming you heard some of the talk as well.
I heard about your train from the north.
Yeah, it was super impressive. I'm talking about weird spirits, a blue moon. People are...
Oh. Well, there's often rumors of blue moons, but I don't think there's a blue moon this year. I mean, we had heard the rumors of what had happened while you were traveling. You avoided the woods and still had a concerning moment.
Technically, yes, but that's not my fault.
We're not blaming you. We're interested in what happened in case it happens with us.
Wish I could say more. Something like it. I'll describe it to them. I mean, I don't have a explanation for it. Just seems like weird things are afoot. Weirder than usual.
They look at each other and they're like, I don't know what that would have been, but from the south, I came in. Actually, I'll tell you where they came in from.
Yeah.
I have to get it. Give me a second. I came in from Cairo, and the other one says I came in from Nisa, and those are both longer roads than yours than what you had to go. And we didn't have any of those concerns. We had nothing like that. I mean, there were a few beasts, but they were nothing out of the ordinary. Wolves in one place. You had an ogre or something, right? Yes, there was one ogre. Whatever that was that happened with you was different.
Right. All right. Thanks for your time, folks. I'll get up, head back to the Anselm, and then the last thing I'll have to look into is if people were talking about this church, the temple. They might have something weird going on, but I'll grab Meadow before that.
Okay. Back in the soul, Eslav, you're an initiata, which is a really young a cleric, takes you and says, I'm supposed to show you a place where you can bed down for the time you're here. Would you like to be nearer or further from the fire?
Further, preferably.
Oh, there aren't many of those. I mean, there aren't many people that ask for that. That will make it easy. And she walks over and she finds a spot. Well, anywhere along the back wall that is empty, that one is closer to a door, though, that leads out. It might get cool breezes. You may not want to be right next to that. Cold
I'll go
breezes.
right over to that one.
Okay. And you can feel there's a little bit of a breeze rolling in, coming in, that is chilling, but not to you. Cold
Right.
for others.
He enjoys it.
You do take kind of two spaces, so we'll make sure that we lay down some extra furs so that no one, occupies where your legs would go, or you'd have to be sleeping folded, and that would be very uncomfortable.
I'll do it if I have to.
From where do you hail?
I believe you call it the Grey Wastes.
Gray Wastes. The Blue Wastes.
Oh,
Yeah. Wait. So you're from even further north than us.
how far north are you?
We're far north? So you would be very far north.
Right. I'm from a village called Jormungand.
Oh. That's where they bring whales in, correct?
Sometimes.
They strip them for oil. We buy oil from them. I think Almari's ship came in with oil for us just a little while ago. Were you on that ship?
I was, but my village does not strip whales.
Oh.
We eat them.
Oh, well, I mean, we eat whales too, when we
All of
get
them.
them. But there are things you can't eat. You can't eat their bones, for instance.
We can, and we do.
Oh,
We use them in stews, soups. It makes great stock.
true. There's artisans that carve them into things. Like our forks are made from the ivory in the bones. Things like
Forks?
that. Oh, you don't use forks probably up there.
I'm gonna give him a look.
It's a prong for eating with.
He's gonna look down at her hands. Wait, was this a girl or a boy? I'm sorry.
It's a girl.
Okay. He's gonna look down at her hands and just point at them and say, "Why don't you just use your hands?"
Well, we use our hands to hold the prong. Sometimes we use our hands too with bread, and then we put things in the bread. You know what? People eat however they want to eat. The festival will definitely feed you until you can't eat anymore, however you wish to eat. As a matter of fact, they brought in a whale for this one. They brought in it's some kind of a white whale. I don't know what it's called off the top of my head. I'm thinking a beluga whale. They should be. Oh, that's what you could do. They need help moving the whale up to the fire. And
Put
you're
me in the
strong.
right direction.
And she says, "Follow me. You can put your stuff down here. Nobody will touch it."
I'll place some of his furs down, and I'll leave his axes. He'll
And,
bring one of his hatchets just in case he needs it for something.
okay. And they take you down to the docks, and there's a fishing boat there that has a whale, not a big whale like a sperm whale or a blue whale or anything like that. A beluga is smaller than an orca, but that's still a big ass piece of
Right.
animal to move.
I love beluga whales. They're my favorite.
you're not gonna like what's gonna happen to this
No,
one.
no, I don't. I
Same
don't
thing
like
that
what's
happened to
going
the
on
turtle.
at all.
Might as well mute the conversation.
You're like little puppies of the sea, and you're supposed
Oh,
to
no.
know.
And you can see the men are men and women. I won't say men. Just the people. There are a bunch of people there, slowly pulling it up onto shore, and they're rolling logs under it. And as they roll a little bit, they move the log to the other side, and they can move it all the way through town, and it looks like they're going to move it into the town somewhere. You don't know where. And they see you and they're like, "Oh, thank goodness, someone who can help move this thing a little faster."
So he's probably done this before with other whales. Like this
Yeah.
is not exactly a complex technology they're utilizing.
No.
So I'll jump in and I'll start helping out, moving the logs and pushing the whale.
Yeah. And they're going to move the whale into the town, obviously, but you have to go up this pretty steep ramp. That's the hardest part. Once you get up the ramp, not so hard. So it'll take you a little while to do that. Morkant, you and Vesrin are hanging out together in your room.
Perhaps we should go somewhere and have a drink. As you said, this conversation is not necessarily something we should be having here. If I'll pay.
Don't worry about that. But yeah, I definitely agree. We should go somewhere else if I can sneak out before my higher ups see me leaving, because they'll put me to work pretty quickly.
I mean, if you prefer the work, we can speak in the morning.
No, this is important. Let's go discuss exactly what you have in mind.
All right, let's go. And then, do we need to find your dragonborn friend?
I just met the gentleman. He just came into town and was looking for work and a place to stay, and that's what we do here at the Soul.
Okay.
So I've helped him get a room, and hopefully they'll find him some work.
All right then. So let's go get a drink. Do you know a good place here? This is actually my first time in Fayelinn.
Actually, you know that there's no taverns or anything open because everything is being moved to the outdoors, and it's all barrels around the common area.
It's the festival, so we don't really need to worry about finding a place. There are plenty of places just outside. Let's go find a quiet spot.
Sounds good.
And,
Lead the way.
I lead him to a quiet spot.
And you leave the Soul, and right outside the Soul, you see this whale being rolled down the street. And you see that the Dragonborn that had come in and to find you is helping move it. And across the way, you can see that there's a Kenku, and one of the ship captains is talking. A little behind them, you see Kian was doing some shopping and listening to... Not listening, you don't see him listening. He's just shopping. And what are you doing, Meadow?
Okay, so Meadow has probably been arguing with Mr. Hawley about she will be taking the floor with Archer because he is an old man. And he came all this way, all this trouble for her, so she insists he takes the bed. She'll be fine on the floor. And besides that, she's probably going to be seeing about a bath so she can start getting ready for the festival and get dressed. It's going to take her a while to get ready.
You know that a lot of people wear costumes. You may need to get some costume material downstairs, or down in the bazaar.
You know, I forgot about the costume. I'm gonna go get some costume. she's gonna go take care of that.
Nobody wants to go to the cosplay not wearing anything.
Yes, it's embarrassing.
Yes, it's like going to a vampire party and you're dressed in white.
speaking of which, while we're walking, if I see something like that, I might buy Morcount and myself a mask, and I'll say, "This is in case somebody sees you and tries to pull you away for some work. This way we can talk and less likely for somebody to notice."
His clothing is
My formal vestments.
distinct.
It's the festival.
An anonymous acolyte of the soul. They'll never suspect it.
Right. And you know, the clerics do take a few minutes break here and there. They don't. It's not a nonstop effort. Matter of fact, the clerics, more of their job is guiding other people to doing stuff than doing it all themselves.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they do a lot, but they don't do all of it.
Well, regardless, I'll wear it.
Also, with all your really fine-in clothes and the big medallion.
I will find a lovely, if they have any type of mask that has like the unicorn family stuff on it, I will wear that.
Yeah, plenty. Horn coming out the front.
Yeah. You know, he's fancy. He's fancy, huh? So.
And you hear Epania, Morkent. Listen up, people. The elders wish to speak for a moment. And everybody kind of quiets down. And there's a little platform. And on it, there are the elders of the town and Epania.
Are all of us out on the street right now?
Yep.
Various places? Cool.
Yep. And one of the people gets up. He's old. It's an elf, but Vestrin, you can tell even as an elf, this is an old elf. And he kind of quiets everybody. The children run through, you know, with their streamers running up from their back of their pants. The children can make noise. That's fine. The Festival of Mist is here again. As is tradition, everyone will come together to help decorate and bring joy to the gathering. The selling of wares and the feast will be starting soon. I think some have already started. Children are creating decorations. Please gather as many as you can. They're beautiful. They bring you good luck. The tethers have been tied thanks to Acolyte Morkent. I saw him somewhere. There he is, Acolyte Morkent. Thank you for tying off the tethers. Need I say to please be careful in the town? We've got the lamps going up. We don't want any of them to fall over and start a fire. Perhaps the gods will treat us the same as last year and not ascend. And if some do, if we do have an ascent like we did 15 years ago, it's a blessing that comes to us. We've had no moments to remember like that in 15 years. Perhaps the gods will treat us this year the same as then. Notices are posted for any assignments. If you're just arriving in town and you don't know what to do, there's plenty to do. Plenty to do. I don't want to see anybody doing nothing. We don't need laziness. If you're not on a list, bring your tools and your back. If you are a craftsman, if you can paint or you can carve or weave, all those skills are also appreciated. If you can cook, we would appreciate the cooking also. Now, let us remember our family members and friends that have surprised the gods with the appearance after Nosandu. Morkant, you know that Nosandu means the night of black ink. And all the ascended since then. It also, you remember from just what you've been taught, is that was the night of the first ascension. And all the ascended since then. When the gods slumber, we may meet them in their dreams, if they will it. So know that it's a beautiful gift, perhaps from the dreams of Mava, who challenges our character and creates courage and prepares us for the unexpected. Or it could be from Torve, a deterrent from challenging tradition and trying to trying to challenge or change the passing of seasons. Perhaps it comes from Akor himself. A way to bring some of his children home to dance and drink in his court. Know, though, that those who ascended on this night are with us when we dance. We hear their voices when we sing and feel their spirits as the nights become dawn. A moment of remembrance when we drink. And he lifts up a drink, and everyone around starts like scrambling for drinks. You drink it full and drink it down. And everyone in the audience takes whatever drink they can get, and they're starting to give drinks out quickly. He drinks it down, the whole thing. Including the children, by the way.
I'll grab my drink, but I'll do it kind of like, just going through the motions because we're supposed to. Not that I agree with this.
Right.
And I will drink absolutely nothing.
And a moment of cheer as we celebrate the gifts they gave us before their passing. And some people cheer and some people don't. So we can learn from what the gods saw in them and find it in us. And Apania comes up. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, continue on. Find your tasks. And then everyone just goes back to normal.
I'll lean over to Vesperin and be like, every year they celebrate the potential for families to be torn apart and ruined.
This is bullshit.
Yes, I fully agree.
Kian, make me a perception check.
24.
You heard them say that. You were close enough that you heard those comments.
Yeah.
Have you lost someone, Morkan?
Yes, my mother was taken 15 years ago.
Something we have in common. My mother was taken 44, as I was saying earlier.
So
Do you
what
think
exactly?
it's I'm sorry, I did not mean to cut you off. The drink is getting to me.
That's all right. What exactly is your sister's plan with the information?
To be honest with you, to be frank, I don't know my sister's plan in full. She hasn't given me much word yet either. I'm sure I will hear from her soon, and hopefully I can be more of assistance to you in that matter.
I'll produce the letter that I wrote last night, which has your seal on it. Just kind of, all this is just a series of numbers, no specific information from the book which I looked at. There's quite a bit more names than I had expected from the last couple of ascensions.
When my sister's messenger comes, I think it'd be best to give it to him. She's much better with numbers than I.
And when do you expect he will come?
Acolyte Morkant, I'm as confused in this matter as you. I'm still trying to understand how my mother drew you 50 years ago. Let alone what my sister plans or how she... We have to be careful. My brothers, they're family, but let's just say we don't see eye to eye on a lot of things. And if Ratha didn't give me warning, I would probably be dead within the next year or so.
Well, I mean, tonight a lot of people might disappear and might as well be dead. I think our primary goal is to try and get ahead of that if we can.
And Meadow, you're in the area of the rest of the people there, and you see the elders there coming off the stage, and one of them is looking at you. He's a kenku. He looks like a bird person, and he's looking at you like this, kind of. And he walks over to you. He takes a few steps, and then he pauses, and then he takes a few more and comes to you. And then he lowers his head and he goes, "Those are very interesting buttons."
Oh, you're muted.
Thank you. My husband made them.
And he goes on. And he has a bag of corn. Not popcorn, just corn that he just chews on. He walks away and he goes and talks. He crosses where the whale had paused, and next to the whale, where the whale is, he goes and talks to the captain of the ship that you were on, the one named Olmari. And the captain is actually looking at you, Eslov. You found work.
Fortunately, yes.
Very quickly, of course. Strength.
I have much to spare.
It's the most useful skill there is worldwide.
It would appear so.
And the Kenku turns to him and they step back a little bit and they start whispering something. And you guys keep rolling the whale.
Do I notice the Kinku walking by speaking to Meadow? I don't know Meadow yet, but I'm saying.
Yeah, everybody saw the
Or-
Kinku. There's only one Kinku here, and it's,
Yeah.
And really, he's very visible all the time.
yeah.
Morcant, what do you know about that Kinku gentleman?
Oh, he's one of the elders here in the village. Apparently, he was asking about me the other day. I'm not sure.
This is,
I've never really spoken with him.
If it hasn't been an odd night, it may get a little bit more odd. Besides the picture, my mother kept those drawings and other things inside this scroll case. And I will reach in and I will slowly kind of, not pull it all the way out, but pull out the feather enough to where you can see, you know, what it is. I don't want to like make like, oh, look at this giant feather, you know, but enough to where he can see the feather, and then I'll push it back in. This was something else my mother had.
That's quite, yeah, that's very, very odd. You are correct.
It looks like one of his feathers.
I mean, if you want an audience with him, you are a man of great importance. I'm sure it can be arranged.
Perhaps. Would you like to accompany me as I do so?
Yes, let's go ahead and over there, and I'll make introductions,
Yes.
and I'll walk up to the town elders.
I follow.
Okay. Can you make me perception checks as you close in on the conversation between the two of them?
All right, let's see here.
I got a 9.
I rolled a natural 17 plus 3,
Okay.
dirty 20.
30-20.
Yes.
Nice.
Dirty 20. I
Oh,
love
by
dirty
the
20.
way, Scott,
Yeah.
am I in my costume?
You're getting costume pieces.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, I would have been attracting way more attention. Okay, never mind. Keep going.
By the way, Scott, while this is happening, I'm taking off the cloak and the letters kind of tying back hair a little bit, moderately changing up my appearance and making myself look a little bit more respectable.
Okay. And maybe friendlier.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Okay. Good idea. Who rolled the dirty 20? Morgan?
Yes.
No.
They're turned, their backs are turned to you guys, and they're just whispering, and you hear them say something like, "There's a storm coming, I can feel it, but I can't see the storm itself. Something brings a shadow in my sight. Ternach will be left unchecked when Torve's in Penumbra with Mava this eve. As concerning as that, Bjoros has turned her back on us, at least for a time." And that sounds like, what the hell was that?
Before we walk up, I'll stop Morcant and I'll whisper what they said. I'm like, I just heard them say this. Do you know? Does this mean anything to you?
It's crazy moon talk. I mean, they go and they try to guess the weather.
Well, Ternach and Bjornos are two other and Bjoros are two other gods that aren't really worshipped much here. They're revered, but they're not really, like, there's no clerics or anything here of those gods that you know of. But they're apparently out there.
Doing god things. And
All right.
I'll just kind of go with that really bad explanation and try to get the attention of the Kenku.
And he keeps talking to him about stars, and he may not have heard you.
What was his name?
Awok.
Excuse me, Awok. I have Vespin
Veteran.
Nazrin here to speak with you. Of House
Madrick.
Madrick. Sorry, my apologies.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. We're all getting used to each other.
The son of the Earl.
Yes.
One of them. One of the sons.
I've seen you when you were young.
Do I remember this or no?
No. The last time you were here, you were really, really young.
You met me when I was a child?
I have. Which
you
would
know
be
my mother?
surprising because Kenkus don't normally live that long. They live 50, 60
Yeah.
years.
Did you know my mother?
I did. Up until her ascension. He seems to have trouble saying that word like that.
I take note of that, and I smile at the idea that he, struggles with it. Kind of like thank you for recognizing it's not just like a good thing, because it's not. like so many try to say it is.
Your brothers let you out.
Yes.
I'm surprised. I thought that they were
planning to send me on some ships.
I did not know that. I thought they were just keeping everyone in the family close. We haven't seen a McGrick here in more than a decade.
Yes, House Madrick is. It's been some time since we've been here.
And eat some corn.
I don't know if this is the best place to speak. Is there some place that you, myself, and Acolyte Morcon can speak more privately?
This is definitely not a good place to speak. We should not speak here at all. We'll speak later. I can't speak until after the festival, though. I'm very busy.
Well, can I show you one thing? Maybe you can explain to me why my mother had this.
And Omari turns, and Omari looks somewhat humanoid. Got like fiery red eyes, though, and not quite human. Skin color is weird.
Mm-hmm.
A little grayish, maybe.
I just kind of take note of it, and like I said, continue to show the Kenku a part of the feather that's inside the scroll case. My mother had this, and I'm pretty sure this is yours. Yes.
Bring it when we meet again. And he turns. Thank you. And as he starts to walk away, he turns back. Thank you. We'll speak again. And he, using his cane, he kind of walks out. He doesn't walk fast, but he seems disinterested in having this conversation right here with you right now.
Yes, understand. I look at Morcon. Does this seem like a joke to you now, sir? Obviously, I'm not messing with you.
I think that has yet to be seen, but I believe if you are not, then we have very similar goals. So I will trust in that.
I still find it odd that we both lost our mothers.
And Omari speaks for the first time that you've heard. You're not the only ones that have lost their family here.
No, of course not. And that's
Kian right here, he's lost somebody in his family. Rodo, he's lost somebody. Hala has lost somebody. Brita has lost somebody. There are many here that have lost somebody to the Ascension.
I agree, and thank you for the input. And you are.
I'm Omari. I'm the captain of the Dream.
It is a pleasure to
Dreamscape.
meet you.
No, not the Dreamscape.
Dreamboat.
What?
The dream.
Not the Dreamboat. I forgot the name of the boat. Damn it.
I'm doing my best to not be seen here.
But yeah, I will take a when he does point at people. I do look at those
Uh-huh.
people that the captain is pointing to.
Well, there's like people have kind of gathered around you, just a few. There's the Dragonborn. He's sort of stopped with the whale. They're waiting on him to move because he's doing the most work. Kian, this scout, was nearby, and it was weird because he was nearby when you were on the other side of the street too.
Do I notice that?
Yeah, you do now.
Yeah, oh, that's odd.
And there's this girl like wearing bits of a costume that's nearby.
Very flashy.
It's getting there.
Perhaps we should go back to more of the outskirts of the festival as opposed to the center, if we are to continue discussing this.
I agree. Maybe perhaps invite the Dragonborn when he's finished to join us. It's always nice to have a tough gentleman around to have our backs, and if we need it.
He's from the north, so I assume he's looking for, because they're not the money-having type. They're more about community. So I'm assuming he's probably feeling kind of lost about now.
Oh, no,
Looking
that,
for people.
but if he's not from here, he's more likely somebody we can trust.
That's very wise of you. Yes, let us converse with him and see how he is doing.
And you turn around, and Aponia is right there. And he grabs your shoulder and turns you. And he
Hello,
looks.
sir. How are you?
What?
Hello, sir. How are you?
He looks very upset.
Are you familiar with the son of the Duke?
Hello, sir.
Excuse me for a moment, son of the Duke. It's actually an earldom, so the son of the Earl.
Son of the Earl.
May I have a word with my acolyte before we have a moment also?
No worries. I will speak to some of the people here. I see this gentleman here has, gone through some things. I'm pointing over to Kian since he's been following us.
And Aponia raises his voice. I specifically told you just yesterday to leave it alone. The traditions are there for a reason, but you keep questioning and questioning and questioning. I saw your name in the library, and what you were looking for, your insolent behaviors running so counter to a divine respect of our blessings. I'm starting to question why you even wear that brooch sometimes. After the festival, we'll discuss this in greater depth. Until then, the library is off limits to you. Now get back to work. And he spins around, just pissed off, and storms away.
Yes, sir. I put my head down and...
Hey, before you go somewhere, I'd like to see that list.
What list?
Yeah, I'll step forward up to him. Said you were working on something. I have a condition where very good hearing and intelligence. So I'd love to see that list of names you're coming up with for things related to the Ascension. What's up?
Is this a request you make of strangers often?
Well, only when I've seen them naked.
By the way, thank you. Who's that? Arlo Fig for the sub. I saw that a little while ago. I didn't have a good moment to say anything, but thank you. All right, go on. Sorry.
Yeah. Listen, I'm looking into some things here. There's some weirdness going on around town. Folks are saying there might be another Ascension. It's a weird day, all right? It's a weird couple of days. So
the festival, this is when Ascensions happen. I think people expect it every year.
Yeah.
I don't know how weird that actually is.
What's on that list?
When you say weird, what kind of weird are you speaking of?
Something about moons, a blue moon, and what the hell else were they talking about? Scott?
They were
Oh,
talking
no.
about blue moons, and they were talking about the clerics are full force. Their numbers have grown, so they should be
Yeah.
good there. They said that somebody had mentioned the blue moons and said maybe Awa could tell us if there was actually a blue moon that year, the last time. Carrie Wade has raised a bunch more foxes and let them out, so that's a good omen that keeps
Sure.
bad luck at bay.
Some kind of weirdness out of the woods on top of all that other stuff I just said. Creatures are moving out farther than I'd like.
Oh, I had a strange encounter on the way here as well.
Yeah. You said someone ascended, what, 44 years ago?
My mother ascended 44 years ago.
Scott, how long ago was the time my mom came across whatever she faced, roughly?
She said decades ago.
Decades, maybe.
She didn't specify when.
Yeah. I'll have to look into that a little more, but there's a possibility things are interrelated. What did you come across?
Some type of small fey-like creature. I was trying to distract me and take my saddle, but I was able to give him a fair deal, and he let me pass with no more problems.
Wow.
He was a very fast little thing.
I came across a ghost that tried to convince people that they were killing each other. Yours sounds way more fun.
I don't know if it was fun.
It's that girl and her dog again. Hang on, give me a sec.
Meadow and her dog.
Is Archer out with you, Meadow? Or
He's always following her. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what he'd be barking at though.
Perhaps we should all, those who are interested, and you, Outlander, if you'd like to join us, please come. Maybe we can sit down somewhere and not have this conversation in front of people.
I mean, some of us are being pretty exhibitionist this morning. I don't know why we're suddenly so shy. All right.
There's a lake nearby if you don't mind fish with arms.
Fish with arms?
Don't worry about it. But it's pretty secluded. Kind of avoid the water.
Except for the fish with the arms.
Yeah, just, avoid the water. But it's more of a secluded area.
Whatever,
Perhaps
lead the way.
Perhaps we should take some drinks and go and sit down.
I mean, I won't say no.
Yes.
All right.
Grab a few drinks.
Yeah,
and...
I need to check with the girl. Hang on. I assume I see you. Are you in your costume at this point?
Am I, Scott?
You're pretty costumed up by now.
What is
I
this?
guess the last touches would be just doing my hair, I guess. My costume is she couldn't decide between a mermaid and a fairy, so she did both.
A fairy maid or
A fairy maid.
a murmury.
Murmury. Yeah, so it's basically the full costume of like a mermaid, but also like she's got those fairy wings on the back and like a little tiara that she's now doing her hair.
So you...
Nice.
Well, if we were hoping to be inconspicuous.
You know what? I won't ask.
There's a lot of people in costume.
Yeah.
You
Got my
are.
unicorn.
She blends in. What are you talking about?
You actually.
All right.
It is inconspicuous right now because there's so many people actually in costume.
I love your costume.
And she's like in the middle of doing her hair, and she's like, "Oh, hi, thank you."
You see me wearing a unicorn horn on my head?
I love your horn.
Well,
Where did
thank
you
you.
get it?
Oh, right over there. If you want this one, you can have it. I don't really need it.
I think it might clash.
Oh, you think?
with the fairy mermaid. If you combine a third, you might cause an implosion of reality.
That's why I gotta go look at those masks over there to see what they're offering. So there might be a third component.
And you step
After you do point it out, though, she is going to be wandering to that stall because she's curious now.
I'm sorry there. Is it Kian? Is it...
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to distract the young woman.
No, you're fine. One might say it's impossible not to distract her.
True.
And
How do you know her?
while you guys are talking, the whale gets finished being moved over to and basically rolled onto a fire.
I'll grab a drink and walk over and hand it to the Dragonborn. Tell him to come over with us.
He'll stop what he's doing and look over and I'll walk over.
As I finish, I hand you a drink. Yeah.
He'll take it and he'll look at it and he'll smell it. What does it smell like?
Ale.
So it's something I've had before. He'll take a big swig out of it.
I hope you've had this before.
Wipe his face and he'll be like, "Thank you."
Yes.
It's good, but it's weak compared to what you're used to.
Morkant and a few of us would like to speak with you.
About what?
Well, if you want to find out, come on over. Join in the conversation.
All right. He has no real suspicions.
Listen, man, all I wanted was a piece of paper. How the hell did I get into...
Well, if it looks like we're all having this conversations, it might look less like we're having a secret.
Whatever, give me one of those, please.
As you get nearer to the lake and you're
Kindly.
exiting the main part of the city and you get near the lake, you see there's signs along the lake edge. It says, "Beware of armed fish."
So I've got a couple of questions. Yeah.
Yes. Are these fish armed with weapons?
This
Or
seems
are they
ambiguous.
Have arms?
You know, I haven't seen any with weapons yet, but I'm not going to rule it out.
But you've seen them with limbs.
I'd rather not talk about it.
I, for one, am curious about these armed fish. I've never heard anything like it. I was a fisherman for years.
And you see,
I'm gonna put a bolt in my crossbow and cock it back.
and you see a little girl running up towards you guys from the town. And she stops when you cock the crossbow. "Oh, I'm sorry. I was just checking to see if you guys were okay.
No, it's fine. I'm just about to kill an armed fish.
Are you okay, Morkant? Do you need
Yeah, I'm
anything?"
fine. Thank you. Go
Okay.
go along.
Who is this young lady?
It's just a girl staying at the Soul. She's very sweet.
And she leaves.
Imagination.
She's very
Thank you
brave.
for checking on us. That's what I was going to say. You're very brave running over here by yourself. I like that. You might have a future ahead of you.
Not to interrupt us or anything, but did you guys leave Meadow behind?
No, we assumed you got your mask and followed us.
we're
Oh, okay.
I was assuming that anyways. I don't know if everybody else was. I
just
We
making
home
sure
alone
it
you.
was there. Otherwise, she turns around and she's just nobody.
It's like
She's
the mask are over there. Let's go. Let's go.
She definitely got, those sparkly masks that just
Yeah.
go over. Yeah, that's what she got. And it's color coordinated.
Like I said, the way you said it just makes me think I'm like, the mask are over there. All right, guys, go.
Hey, knowing Kian, that could have happened.
Kian's like, we should have.
So yeah,
Damn it.
Meadow's
Move,
looking
move.
over the lake to see the infamous armed fish because she's got to see this.
Well, while you're looking over the lake, off to one side of the lake, you see several really large people coming around the lake towards the town. They're not coming to you, but they're exceptionally large.
That can't be good.
That's
Are
what
they-
brings.
They're
Do
dressed
they look-
nicely, though.
Do they look larger than the Dragonborn that's with us?
Yes.
Hmm.
How big were these fish, Morkant?
I've only seen one, and I would say it's about as wide as a human's chest and maybe about 5 or 6 feet long.
Do they walk?
No, they're fish. They swim.
Okay, so there's two giant things we have to worry about here. What do these people look like, Scott?
They look like small giants. Not as big as a giant you've heard of. You've never actually seen one. Actually, you would know what it is. These are furbolgs.
Ah, okay. Are they common around these parts?
They
The
look
woods?
like they're heading to the town.
Okay.
They were walking around the lake so they were coming from the opposite side of the lake.
Is this something different than I would see any other year?
You've not seen a furbolg. You've probably heard of them, but never put two and two together with what they are.
Okay.
Kian's probably the only one that's actually ever seen or met one, and they were friendly. They weren't.
Yeah.
They
All
weren't
right,
a threat.
let's find a spot. I'd like to find out what you guys are researching. I got a bad feeling about whatever's going on this year, and I'd really appreciate some insight.
My brothers seemed to lock down the house, which I thought it was weird because they did it rather quickly, and the Kinku knew immediately that they had done so. So you must have some ties to it. So you're probably right that something bad's going to happen. It seems to be in the air.
I apologize. I don't know who you are or what your brothers are up to or how that relates to anything. I just really want to know what the priest man found.
I'm Vezran of House Madrick. I'm the
Vesh.
Jarl's son.
You know the name. You've seen the castle in
Yeah.
Cairo.
Right. Okay. You're one of those, huh?
I don't know what that means, but
Just don't worry about it.
if you mean House Madrick, yes, I'm one of the sons of House Madrick.
Yeah. Which one?
Vezran.
That's fair. Listen. All right.
I think a better question, though, is who are you to walk up and demand a list of names?
I'm your worst nightmare. No, I'm just messing with you.
I
I got some.
this morning.
That's fair. Listen, no, I'm just a curious dude. I don't know what to say. I just really appreciate some help in figuring things out before things get weird.
Well, first off, who here has lost somebody? I don't think the Outlander has.
The
I know
ascension
my-
only happens here. It doesn't happen anywhere else.
Oh. Is this something I would have known as well?
I learned it yesterday.
Probably not. It's a religious thing.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure with my sister or my research if I would have heard about that or not. So.
You,
The
with your
festival happens
sister,
every
you know
year,
what?
yeah.
With your sister, yeah, maybe your sister would have told. Yeah, your sister would have told you at some point. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. You wouldn't have found out without your sister, but with her, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, Outlander, I haven't caught your name yet. What is your name? I'm speaking to you, Dylan.
Okay.
You're the Outlander. You are the Outlander.
All right. Earlier, I thought you were speaking to Ken.
No,
You may call me Eslov.
Eslov. You've never lost anyone to the Ascension, yes?
Ascension?
Our loved ones every so often disappear.
I've had family members walk out into the cold and never come back. If that's what you mean, then yes.
Closer than you think.
Yeah. Not quite, but pretty close. I know I lost my mother 44 years ago. Morkant, you said you lost your mother?
Yes, and I lost my mother 15 years ago.
And Kian, I'm assuming you're interested because of something similar, yes?
Yeah. Yeah. That's all I'll say.
And
Point is, yeah. Yeah. My dad was one of them last time around.
So 15 years ago. Yes. What about you, sparkly lass?
You should probably back away from the water.
Yes, you should probably step away from the water.
Has anybody been paying attention to Meadow this whole time?
No.
No.
Okay, then as you guys are looking over her, she has found a stick, a worm. She had a piece of string on her, and she's tied them together to see if she can lure a fish up to the shore so she can see it. She's like, huh?
Keen, you should probably keep a closer eye on that one.
Have I
I
lost
don't get
somebody?
paid enough for this shit. Okay. Meadow, what you doing?
Trying to see a fish, of course.
You're doing it wrong.
I don't have...
Here, let me help. And he walks
You have the
over.
right to quit me on me.
Keen,
Obviously.
here, have another drink.
Please.
I know how to fish. She seems like upset you're telling her she doesn't know how to fish.
I'm gonna be. She's barely with me. All right. There's a whole lot of. I mean, just on a technicality, one might say.
Oh, it's definitely technicality.
Yeah.
She's just barely with me. Has she lost someone as well?
Not to the Ascension, as far as I know.
But she has lost someone.
I mean, we all have. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, my sister believes that there might be something tied to all this. Obviously, it's not something that the religious folk around here generally want us looking into due to traditions. But we believe there's more to it than just ascending.
Yeah. What's your story? Church boy, what you know, I heard you bad mouthing the whole Ascension. Well, I mean, to say nothing of the punishment you went through today. I don't think they'd let that happen.
Well, I mean, I've been living at the Soul since I was 8. I've kind of become a cleric through being there more than anything.
So, are you into it? Well,
Yeah.
I heard you bad mouthing the whole Ascension process, which is that's my job. That's not the job of the cleric. I'm supposed to hate the cleric.
I can be more hateable if that helps.
Please.
I will do my best.
Thanks.
I definitely follow Akor, but I don't know that the traditions we have laid out really represent his teachings, and I don't believe this ascension is really a good thing. And the fact that we fight looking into it, it just doesn't sit well with me, considering
So
everything.
what kind of research you do? What did you do for this one?
Once again, who are you?
He has done no research for me.
The letter you were gonna give back to Rotha was her name?
Yes,
Yeah.
my older sister.
What'd you do for her?
Who are you again?
Feel like we've been over this. My name's
I
Kian.
really feel like we've been around this, but what do you do, Kian? And
I scout. I guide people from all around
Oh.
town. Yeah. Occasionally shoot at things, which,
so
you know.
his sister had asked me to look into names of people who have ascended. And I have recorded from the church library a few of the statistical numbers and things of that nature of those who have ascended, of the last 2 ascensions.
How many? What did you find?
How many, Scott?
312.
Between both of them?
Yes.
Okay. There was a little more than 300 people amongst the last 2 ascensions.
Oh, no. 312 in the last one in 15 years ago.
15 years ago, there was 300, a little more than 300 people.
Jeez.
Around the whole island.
It's broken down a little bit more in the letter that is meant for his sister.
I'm going to speak frank. So many people say this is the gods' work, but what proof do we have that it is the gods doing this?
Just the tradition.
And that's what I have concerns with. Kian, you've seen a lot of things. Have you ever heard of a sound hole?
I might have. Scott, would I have read about this kind of thing?
When your father disappeared, when anybody ascends for a certain amount of time, from a few seconds to up to a couple of days, in the spot where that person ascended, no sound goes in or comes out. Like, you can't make a sound in it. It's just a weird phenomenon that is unexplainable by anybody.
I know the general idea. I'm not a scholar, but
Well, then you would know that they generally only last for a short time. When my mother disappeared, we never knew where she went for a very long time. Recently, we were able to figure that out, me and my sister. And when we
Where
went to
did
the
she go?
spot... Huh?
Where did she go?
I'll describe the location, Scott. It's like a tree. And what was the area it was in?
It was near a little brook where there's a little waterfall, and next to a maple tree that has grown since that time. It was outside of your castle, but on your castle grounds.
Yes. I'll describe that to you. We were able to figure it out. And the exact spot where she disappeared, her sound hole is still there. That was 44 years ago. It doesn't make sense. It shouldn't be there.
yeah.
It just makes me and Rotha want to know more. We need to know what happened to our mother.
Checks out. Sure. So what's the plan exactly? I mean, I don't have much of a... Feast's probably starting soon.
What did you need me here for?
You're strong, yes? If somebody comes over to give us problems, then we hope that we can rely on you. Plus, you're an outlander, so you're less likely to turn on us in this conversation.
Rely on me for what? You want me to fight for you?
I'll pay you.
That'd be great.
I am not a violent person.
Neither
not
am
sure
I.
how much use I can be if you want protection.
Neither am I. I prefer not to get into conflicts if I can avoid them.
Yeah, me too.
That was an odd statement from a dragonborn or a barbarian, to be honest.
Yeah.
Oh, he's just a shirtless dragonborn right now.
Yeah.
With
It's very
just a
sweaty.
hatchet. With just a hatchet.
Scott, more importantly, have I found a fish?
Yeah, there's some little fish there. You
No, the armed fish.
No.
That's what I'm... Dang it!
No.
So, honestly, Eslov, I just felt more comfortable knowing that we had more people here. You're not somebody who I feel would turn on us right off the bat. You don't know enough about this land to do so.
I have no reason to.
You have no reason to. There are a lot of people here. Just hearing this conversation could cause many problems for us. Would you not
I
agree?
see.
Acolyte Kian.
I'll just turn to Esloth and in Draconic be like, you see, nobles expect people to help them, and they feel like if small people are around, they won't get hassled at all, and that's what he wants.
What's a noble?
A noble is, do your tribes, I don't know if that's the right word, do they have leaders?
The concept of leadership is vague in my tribe.
He,
We have spiritual elders who teach, but
his family directs the military.
military?
Military, we like to fight over land here in the civilized world.
I mean, I'm just going to come out and say it. This feels kind of rude.
Yes, what are you two talking about? I find myself in agreement with
Yeah.
Kian.
Hey, how would you feel if Vezra and I over here went over to a corner and started shit-talking you?
I'm expecting that to happen later anyways.
Oh, That's a fair take.
Frankly, I do not care.
You would expect me to talk about you, Morkan?
And you should care about people talking about you. It's not nice.
I
You
would
should
never
tell
do
them
such-
that.
Okay.
Where are these fish?
Now,
My apologies.
I
and
was
I'll
lied
switch
to.
I'll switch back to common and just. She's just looking for more companionship in this endeavor.
I see.
And the little girl is coming up over the ridge to the lake.
These concepts are vague to me, but I can at least understand that.
it looks like your friend is coming again, Morkan.
I fear I'll probably have to be leaving soon.
I'm gonna go help Meadow with the fishing. See if I can have any more luck.
Honestly, and I guess I'll just talk to Kian if Morkan's about to leave.
Here
I
we
don't know,
go.
about to
We're about
find
to
out.
start doing it. Just for your information.
Apania says you need to get back to work, and everyone else, if they want to eat, they need to work too.
All right, we'll get back to work right now. If anyone asks, you didn't see us here.
Does catching fish
okay.
count as working?
Here's 5 gold pieces. Don't spend it all in one place.
She's definitely going to spend that all in one place.
Yeah, I know that's
Bug-eyed.
an obscene amount for a child. Just
Yeah, it is. Her eyes go bug-eyed. Like,
yeah.
That's a lot of candy.
oh my god!
She's going to be up all night. It's going to keep the entire soul up.
It's a banana, Michael. How much could it cost? $10?
I'm like, are you sure that's enough, Kian? do you think she can do a lot with that money? I'm not sure if that's enough. Maybe she should have a little bit more.
If you wanna load her up, I won't say no.
No, I trust you.
And she starts heading back. And she takes a few steps and then looks back to see if you're following her back.
We should probably follow her. We don't want nothing to happen. Where can we meet
Fish should
tomorrow?
not count as a job.
Should we meet
It
here
would
in the
have,
morning?
yeah.
Not the way you're doing it.
Maybe we can come back here and meet in the morning.
All right.
Sure, sounds great. Maybe late morning though. There's free booze, so
Yes, I agree. I do love a good drink.
perfect.
And
Maybe you
good
can
food.
tell me about your story more. I'd love to hear about your trip here. I know you said some things happened. Love to hear more.
Maybe if I'm drunk enough.
Well, then I'll stick around to see that. I'm sure we can get you.
Okay.
All right.
You're buying.
So you guys start heading back. Let's take a 5-minute break.
Sure.
Let everybody have their bio moment. We'll be right back, everybody. See you in a few.
I got a rich buddy now. Sure.
And welcome back. We're back from our break. Thank you for sticking around. Let's see. Who do we got here? Oh, we got a nice group in here. Nice. Cool. And you start heading back, and when you go over the ridge, next to the lake, you can see that the tent has wrapped around it the lamps. Now the lamps are far enough away they can't fall into and catch the tent on fire. Just so you know that they're smart enough to not do that. The bazaar is basically all set up and running. Food is starting to be offered. People are starting to eat, things like that. And the food, when you start getting closer, it smells really good. Most of it. Some of the things that they have as far as food is they have these huge bowls like a paella, and it has things in it like sea beans and shellfish, goat meat, chopped seaweed, salt, pepper, herbs, and spices. There's also big bowls of brined, rehydrated whitefish, which is like lutefisk, which is a totally disgusting sounding thing that they do in Norway. Slow roasted inside out puffin with garlic, turnips, and beets. Boiled sea spiders, which are actually crabs. The beluga whale is cooking, and they're starting to strip off meat from the outside as it cooks. Well, yeah, they'll give you raw if you want raw. There's baked breads. The bread that they eat doesn't rise most of the time. It's like naan. It's more flat bread. Yeah. And it's used for holding as much as for eating. So, and then people are selling their wares. There's all kinds of costuming going on, and people are starting to get excited because it's getting later in the afternoon, and you're not far from dusk. And the moment it gets to dusk, all the work stops and it becomes a party. It doesn't take long. And somebody has, like, the bowls are made of like an abalone shell kind of thing. And someone goes, oh, an empty chair, and goes, oh, really, again?
That's a good one.
So for those who are, as we're drinking,
Thank you.
I leaned in to tell Kian, I'm like, you want to see something funny? And I
Absolutely.
cast minor illusion to create a chair across the way for people to sit in. Just keep an eye on that chair.
Yeah, I can't do.
And then some person holding a plate of food. Basically, the bowls are abalone shell like shells, and goes over and finds an empty seat, turns around, and boom, goes right through.
That's a waste of good crab.
Food splash.
Illusion disappears the moment they go through it. So I dispel it the moment it goes through.
That's a pretty good trick.
Slovo will go over to help them up.
What do you study?
Magic.
Thank you. There was a chair here. Somebody must have pulled it out, really. But there's nobody.
I think somebody was playing a trick on you.
Why?
Not sure.
Was that funny?
Not to me.
You would have seen this. This is just me talking to him. I didn't say it loud enough for everybody.
I'm assuming I noticed this. I mean, I'm standing right next to you.
I don't know if you're standing next to me. All right, that's fine.
You've seen magic, though. You've seen magic that can call a bison herd.
Yes.
And other kinds of things. But where you're from, nobody takes magic for granted or thinks of it as a plaything, because everything's built around survival for the most part there.
A little offended by that, just a bit.
I gotta say, let me
give you the stink eye.
I'll be totally honest here. Never met an elf nor a wizard who's quite so chill, relaxed, not, with a stick shoved up their ass. I don't know what to.
Well, to be honest, I used to have a stick shoved up my ass.
Oh, well, that sounds painful.
But when you live with your brothers who treat you a certain way, you realize that there's no point in being better than everyone else. You should just be you.
Yeah.
The skies are gray, and you can see now that there's snow starting to come down.
Oh, you know what that means.
Soft's gonna look up and close his eyes as he likes the feeling of the snow against his skin.
Huh. I'll look to Meadow.
Are you catching snowflakes on your tongue? Please tell me you are.
It's snowing?
Yeah.
It is. It starts snowing.
She looks so excited. You don't even know. She's looking around to see if it's getting any heavier, and she's ready to go.
The clerics are starting to set up with these poles that have oil lamps under them that burn scented oils, and you can see they're setting them up and starting to fill them with oils, and the oils have color to them, like they have dyes, which is interesting. There's a lot of dyes in the area anyway, because the sea provides a lot of things for color that you can use for coloring cloth. It's one of the exports. And Morkan, one of the other acolytes says, "Did you get yours yet? You need to get yours. We're going to be starting shortly."
Okay, I'll get mine then. So yeah, I'll be right back and run off to the soul to grab it. What color is my oil?
Orange.
Sweet.
And people are starting to, they're all eating right now, and they're starting to drink. They're kind of waiting for, the sun to just hit the edge, the horizon, and just sink below. As soon as it sinks below, that's when the fun stuff starts. You can see over in the distance, the children they're lining up for something. They look super excited. They're all in costumes and adorable and all that. Meadow appreciates that.
And Meadow wants to know what's going on, actually. So she's going to approach one of the little kids and be like, "Excuse me."
Well, when you approach one, you approach all of them, because they're all.
Yes, I approach one of many.
Okay.
"Excuse me, young one.
Uh-huh.
What are you all waiting for?"
We're getting ready to go do our performances.
You're going to have a performance?
Yes. For you and the rest of the adults.
I cannot wait. I'm sure it's going to be the best thing I've ever seen.
And she lights up. She doesn't want to say anything. She's super excited, too.
When does it start?
As soon as the sun goes down. That should happen in just a few minutes.
Then I should be right here, front row, waiting for your performance.
You need to go over there. Because there's a distance between the kids and the adults.
Ah, okay. What is your name?
I am... Of course. You'd have to pick a kid name.
Yes,
Right.
of course.
So the trick is, right?
I'm
You drink.
Mayor. I'm Mayor. M-A-I-R.
Mayor, I will be cheering for you.
Thank you.
And Meadow goes back to stand in front of everybody because she's very short. So
Of
she needs to be in the
course.
front anyway.
The trick is, right, you finish the bottle about 15 minutes before the kids start, right? That
That's
way,
why they're all
by
drinking.
by the time, they make you clap and stuff like that when the kids are singing off key and they're dancing, and I don't like to reward mediocrity, so it's better to just kind of like stay out of it, stay lightly buzzed.
Kian, you would fit well in my family. They do not like mediocrity as well.
Yeah.
They expect the best and only the best.
I think you mean that at least partly as an insult, but I choose to take all of it as a compliment.
No. Being great is never an insult.
Cheers to that.
I think I just realized out of everybody here today, I didn't describe Meadow.
You're right, you should.
So Meadow is 5 foot nothing, very slim human, although healthy looking, and she has pale skin, like she doesn't stay outside in the sun much, and she has very bright amber eyes, and her hair is like, you've seen noble women hair and how it's so maintained and almost shiny. She has that type of hair, but doesn't fit the type of person that obviously came from a small town. So it's a bit of a contradiction. She looks like she is extremely healthy,
Nice juxtaposition.
and but also you can tell from her personality she's very naive.
Yeah, for sure that part.
Definitely. We know that at this point.
Yes.
Meadow, would you like a drink?
Oh, I would love some. Thank you.
There you go.
It's a bit strong.
That was a nice light ale.
Yeah, it was the lightest one I could.
It was
I could
a
find
Zima.
her.
Maybe she's more fit for mead.
Yeah.
She's gonna drink it though, because she's polite.
You
She's
should give her
offered
a
some.
fireball. You should give her a fireball.
Oh my god! Don't get Meadow drunk, please.
Slova will wander over to the whale and ask for a piece of it raw.
Yes, and they have a long pole that they have with a blade on the end, like almost like a saw, like a curved saw, and then they cut, and then they do it again, and they cut, and they pull pieces, they strip pieces away, and give it to you. You know, chop it up on a cutting board there. And they give you what you want, the amount that you want.
Sorry?
Delicious. And you've eaten puffin too. Like
Right.
Those are up in the north also.
Yeah, he'll begin to wolf it down like he always does, but then he'll look around and we'll see that most people are eating more politely. And he'll start to slow down.
Some are using pronged things, some are not. Some are
These
just
strange
using the
forks that I've heard of.
Yeah, those are the strange forks. They're made of bone or ivory or a bunch of metal also, not just bone and ivory.
He'll eat it more slowly as he begins to walk around, just take in the sights.
Okay. So you spend your time walking around and getting all of this taken in, and you find it's beluga whale is a good whale. It's delicious, and the sun just creeps under the horizon, and the sky is just a beautiful pink in the distance. Everywhere else around here it's gray, and then the children start clapping, and cheering. They're excited.
He's gonna look over.
Meadow is also clapping and cheering.
Key and Morcant, looks like it's time for the show.
Slova will walk over to where the commotion is, and he'll watch.
And the children start coming out, and they make a line. And when they first come out, they start a cute little dance where they're dancing around each other. And the Morcant understands that they're actually doing a dance of the moons, which is some dance kind of crazy and some very methodic and timed and everything like that.
I mean, there's no coordination to it. Who choreographs this?
There is coordination. The chaotic ones are coordinated to be chaotic within the space that the main moon provides.
I say that anyway.
Okay. And their costumes are super cute, and all the people that have kids there are cheering. The ones without kids are.
Meadow has no children. She is the full front, like, soccer mom cheering for that one little girl.
And then they do a play. After the dance, they do some singing, and then they do a play. And in the play, there's something called No Sundu, which you've heard before, the first ascension, when the sky's covered in squid's ink, while the gods slept, and the ascension began during Akor's, Maya's, and Torve's collective dream. When they awoke, to their surprise, they found their children from Elixia standing before them. The gods laughed and gave them drink and food, which made them grow into giants, and they were given rain, fish, and knotted rope, which is a symbol of courage, to give back to the families they left behind. After a while, the children are led. After a while, the children are led to continue serving the gods and doing that into happily into infinity. You know, they continue on forever, and it's kind of an interesting children's story. You know, probably believed by half the people or 2/3 of the people here, but not all of them. And then after all that stuff is done, and it takes a while, the kids are walked off to the other side, back to where they were, and there are games and things for them to do that are separate from all the adults. And they're playing and having a blast, and you can hear them laughing over on that side.
Meadow looks like she wants to join them.
Every time, Keen, I think about having kids. I see this and I realize I am not ready for this.
Yeah, and you're stuck with those guys for what, like a century?
And
Yeah,
then
something like that.
and then music breaks out from the bards who finally got a chance to start playing adult music, and then the whole dance area just erupts with people dancing
Open the
and
pit.
singing to the bard songs. Yes, not a mosh pit. I mean, it's fancier than that. And what they do is they start finding family members and friends, and it turns into line dances with families.
Slova will walk over there and sort of hover on the edge of the dancing, sort of watch them for a while.
Somebody grabs you and says, come dance.
Reluctantly, he gets pulled in.
Yep.
Oh, no, look at our friend.
And he sort of stumbles around because he's danced before, but he doesn't know this dance.
Right. But a lot of people are stumbling around.
At this point, I'm not paying attention to that as much. I'm looking around and watching for if anything starts to get weird.
Well, as the night goes on, go on, sorry.
I'm having an argument with this elf about children and how they're blessed, and he should be extremely thankful when he does the children. And you can tell she's tipsy. And she's like, what do you mean you want children? She's like, they're precious.
Kian, you know that she's saying all this to one of the other scouts. And you're like, oh, that's
We
good.
sent it to me, or we sent it to one of the others?
To one of the
saying it
others,
to
one
you.
of the elven scouts.
Oh, well, I was trying to say it to him, but I
She's
guess
saying-
I got the wrong elf.
That would be even funnier. Like, you think it's me. He's like yelling at him. He's like, what the hell?
You know, in retrospect, it may have been a bad decision to give her alcohol.
You're probably right about that. Do you want to go and pull her away from that scout, or just let her at it?
No, I don't like the guy. He deserves it.
Fair enough. You
Bye.
know this man better than me.
By about mid-eve, which is between dusk and midnight, the sky is dark enough that there's no more stars, like they're covered by the grayness of the clouds.
Slav looks a little disappointed at that.
Yeah, everybody is. But there's snow, and you like that.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
He said his phone did a thing.
Yeah, his phone's acting funny.
Yeah, he'll be back in a second, I'm sure.
I love the split screen we have going on right now.
Yeah, what happened?
His
Wait,
phone
what?
died. Yeah, all our screens got moved because he fell off.
Oh,
Like Aryan just peeking out.
all right.
Oh yeah, Meadows do the same. He's like, hi.
Oh no.
How did that happen?
Give me a second. I don't know. Somebody.
He Morcant dropped his phone was having an issue.
Yeah, but I didn't expect it to just mix up the
Well, because of all our placement of our videos then get shifted around, because where they're saved at on the OBS will move.
I was curious how this is gonna go if something like this happened.
It's normal. It happens.
It's horrible though.
It's just.
We all hate it when it happens.
I know I hate it. It drives me nuts.
I like how it was only two of us that shifted though.
That what?
You're gonna have to.
Oh.
You're probably gonna have to redo it all over again when he comes back too.
Oh, you're right. Oh man. Well, let me see if he's not going to get back in.
Meadow, I want you to go over to one side so we can pop in on both sides, because like you're on the top screen too.
All right. Wait.
I can see your arm. I can see your arm on the. There you go. Yeah, lean that. Yep. No, other way.
Oh. The
There's
delay
two of
on
you.
the.
There you go.
Hey, there's two Meadows. I didn't know you had that spell.
Twice the housewife.
Twice
Oof,
the housewife.
that is a scary power, my friend.
Especially with a what is the wild man?
Well, now is a great time to check out the Tome of Arcane Philosophy over on the DM's Guild, as well as Children of Tiamat. So
Follow me on Twitter.
yeah, download my mixtape.
Or look
Pay
at
for my hospital bills.
It's fire.
Look at Mind Flame Mondays on Amazon. You'll find some great shirts.
Call in.
And this battle was
Compliment my
brought to
hair.
you by Dwarven Forge. No?
I wish.
That sounds like, trying to do the Sam Regal.
Dwarven Forge. Oh, yeah. Anyway,
Download Raid Shadow Legends.
don't make that joke. It's too far.
That's too far.
Someone's gonna sue us.
Get some Raycon earbuds.
No, they won't sue us. We're giving them free publicity. More content.
Let's hear about this new thing called Summoner's War.
Are we off stream now?
They can still hear us though. They heard the Raycon joke at least, which the smell of rice and vegetables has been wafting into my room, and I'm getting very, very hungry. Come on, Brando.
I wish you were closer so I can give you some Tylenol, man. Because I know I hate having
Not that
pain.
bad. It's like a 4 out of 10 right now. Maybe probably like a 3. It's just enough to be bothersome. It doesn't even like be good. I'm just curious to see how the surgery is gonna go. I kind of want to watch it. Kind of. But at the same time, I'm scared that I'll move or flinch or something. And they'll like slice off my arm with a scalpel.
Ah, yes, that's how easy it is.
Yeah, it goes straight through the arm like butter. Oh shit. There he goes. And just rolls out the door.
Yikes.
Jeez. That's a brutal imagination. Things are just getting ready to get interesting too. I feel it.
Could ask them to go in there and give me a nose job while they have me opened up.
What?
Yes, because that's right next to the arm.
Yeah.
Since you're here,
It's
could
like
you
2
come
feet away.
here?
It's like 2 feet away. This can't be that hard to just go in.
It's like, yeah, since you're working on this, do you think you could work on this?
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure that's a different type of surgeon.
No, I trust you. You went to school,
You're
right?
different. You have some sort of degree. I'm sure you know what you're doing.
You probably do noses all the time.
You sell essential oils. I trust you.
You must be some sort of pharmacist.
Speaking of essential oils, my sister's obsessed with them and I live with her. So the whole house smells like one of them. I mean, it smells nice. Don't get
I
me
like
wrong.
essential oils. Like, I have
And
just a
she likes-
diffuser, but I'm not, like, obsessed with
She
them.
likes to, like, if I'm not feeling good, she likes to rub it on me in certain areas. And I'm just like, instead
I don't know
of
how many
like,
oils you can get from baked bread, though.
Well, it looks like he's connecting.
oh God.
So I'm
He's
on
powering up.
Probably.
He's booting up.
switch to my laptop, and I really hope you don't hear a fan.
Oh, we do.
Okay, I'll mute myself for most of it. Sorry.
The lighting is, at least for him, is moodier now.
Very moody.
More romantic.
I could turn off my light and join you.
Into the darkness.
Let's
Into
go.
the darkness.
Things
Well,
about to
some
go
of it.
down.
Where everyone moved. Oh. Okay. So people are moved.
We are somewhat back. I don't know if they can hear us. We got to move around.
Uh-oh. Well, that doesn't look right.
No, not everybody's right. It's
We'll
It's
we'll
still
figure it out one
filming.
day. We'll have a stream that has no technical difficulties whatsoever.
Yeah, okay.
When me and Morcon did last night, it was wonderful. Gotta rub it in. Yeah.
There's one.
And then Morcon screwed it up tonight.
Jeez, come on, Brandon. Why you gotta
Come on, man.
be so
Could've been-
inconsiderate?
Now we're 1-1. We could have been 2-0, but you know, dropping that ball, man. Dropping that ball.
Okay.
I like
In the chat, hear us?
Meadows in 2 places. Yeah, they can hear us.
Yeah, they can hear us.
Okay.
Oops.
Kian, you're there.
We got
You
two
know,
Meadows.
I don't mind if Meadow wants to be me and her. Completely cool with that.
Wait, we'll just have everyone leave and Jasmine can play every character.
Yes, that'd be so funny. Just have her like
Oh.
all over.
Oh God. Wait, hold on. So I have to be an elf, a dragonborn, a
Multiple humans.
sarcastic human, and
That felt like a-
and an acolyte who doesn't want to do his job.
That's what she takes away from you.
Oh, sorry, everyone has to see.
Hi guys, I'm a
Oh, fine.
dragonborn and I eat things with my hands.
Deeper voice, come on. I don't know what forks are.
Folks or
Do
forks?
you use them in your
Forks.
hair?
Yeah, you don't know
Yeah,
what
but-
those are.
What's hair?
Okay.
Oh God, yeah, you're bald.
All right.
You might want to
Sorry,
switch
everybody.
me and Morcon around. You want to switch me and Morcon around. Because I'm on Morcon and he's on Vezran.
Oh, yeah.
Poor Scott.
Now you're
Hi,
me
Scott.
and I'm you. Oh. Sorry,
You're
Scott.
in the wrong spots. That's why.
Just wanted to have you. I just wanted to help you out.
Yep. I know. There has to be a better way of dealing with this. Okay. Sorry about that, everybody. Phone
back.
dropped out. Sorry, my dog was barking at nothing.
As they do.
Yeah.
Okay, where was I? Where were we? I was explaining that the stars were disappearing into the grayness of the night. And people were drinking and dancing. They were doing line dances and just an all-around good time. Everybody's having an amazing time out here.
Did the stars tell me anything before they went away?
You weren't really paying attention to them that much. Then they were just gone. It's not really. But while you're looking around, you do see that Awak and Olmari are not in the party. They're off at a table a distance away from the party, and they're talking and eating and just looking at what's going on, as far as the festivities. And everyone continues, enjoying the festivities through, into the night. What are you guys doing while they're partying?
Party with them.
Party with them. Okay.
Meadow didn't get dressed up for nothing. She is having a blast.
This is
Or she
probably the
better
first
be.
real party you've ever seen.
An actual party, not
Yeah.
just like a little gathering of three
Right.
people.
You've been
Yeah.
to town gatherings. You've even been to the Festival of Mists maybe once or twice when you were a kid or young, before you got married, but it was nothing like this.
I'm just watching for weird stuff. Full on Batmaning it at this point.
While you're walking with the rest of the clerics and you start walking with the oil burning, and as the fog starts to thicken, it's creating these colors in the fog from the oil burning, and it makes it really like beautiful. Like the fog becomes different hues all around the festivities, and the scents are all scents from the sea that to people from the sea are very nice to smell. And the chanting you guys do, which you do chant some, seems, you try not to chant above the tone of the bards. Your chants and prayers are not meant to overwhelm. They're meant to be underneath what's going on, and pray for anyone who does ascend, and if they need to ascend, they do. And then the Kenku comes up to you while you're walking. Why do you get in trouble with Aponia so much? And this is while you're walking, and there are other clerics. They're not right next to you, but they might be able to hear you, maybe, if they're paying attention.
Were you talking to Morcant?
Yes.
Yes. Oh,
Now he's
you're
on mute.
muted.
Oh. Is he muted?
Can't hear
I
you.
can't hear him. I can't hear him.
You
I
can?
can't hear you on Zoom. Yeah.
Check your audio on Zoom.
What now?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Is my fan like how bad is my fan?
Pretty bad.
Bad.
Okay. So I'll just be like, well,
Why don't you just listen in?
yeah, I think that's probably best until I get my phone working. So sorry.
Okay, no problem.
No worries. You're good.
We'll retcon that. He won't come and ask you that for the moment.
Time just reverses for a second.
Yeah. And Kian, make me a perception check.
17.
The sky is darkening more than just the cloud, than the stars going out. It's like it's taking a hue that is like a void, like pure black.
Something's happening.
You've never seen that.
Yeah. Something weird's going on out there, Vestrum.
What's going on? What are you looking at?
That's not what the sky usually does.
Do I take note of it as well?
Yeah, it's you've seen dark nights. This is darker than you've seen. And the two moons, they're both out tonight, are like right next to each other. They're almost touching even, and it looks like they're going to touch.
I think we should try to gather people that are off. I feel like something bad's going to happen.
Stop the festival based on the sky getting a little too dark?
I don't think we can stop the festival, but if we see people off on the outskirts by themselves, maybe we should encourage them to come back.
Sure.
Can Meadow and Kian, can you both give me a perception check, please? A difficult one?
Oh, well, I'm unfortunate that it's difficult because it's an 11 for me.
Yep, not you. Meadow,
Are you sure it's not an easy one?
I'm sure.
That's also an 11.
A what?
11.
Oh, okay. And people are, you can tell they're starting to get tired from all the dancing, but they're having a great time. So they keep going even with the exhaustion. And go on.
Can I see the Kinku?
He's sitting over with Omari off in the distance down the street at a table, just looking down this way.
I'm going to... Kian, if you want to go with me, you can, but I'm going to go there and see if he knows what this might be.
You take a look. I'll stay here.
And then I'll head over there and try to get to him as quickly as I can.
Well, the Omari is looking at the sky, and he's talking to Awak. And Kian, your mother comes around, and she's like, "Why aren't you dancing? You're such a good dancer."
I'm not. I hate dancing.
I remember when you were young, you used to dance all the time.
Yeah, I was like 6, and you made me.
I'm going to make you again now.
No, God.
She tries to pull you onto the dance floor.
Yeah, there is something far more true to life than I'd like it to be. No, hang on. There is something weird happening.
I know, you're dancing.
Did the how dark did the sky get?
It's...
No, I'm asking her.
Who, your mother?
Yes.
Well, I don't know. I'm under the tent.
No. How dark did the sky 15 years ago? How dark did things get?
Oh, you're asking if she remembers it. Oh, it got, like, black.
Well, that's probably not good.
Oh, it's nothing. It's just, it's a dark night. The clouds covered up. It's snowing. Make me a perception check. Only you this time, not Meadow.
Meadow was dancing
Much
with a
better.
child.
21.
There is a very slight glow to the naming stone. It's a green light, and it's super subtle. Kind of like, have you ever seen those glow sticks after they've been used, and they're like 2 days later, and they still have just a touch of glow to them? Something like that on the stone in these weird shapes all up and down it.
Okay. point it out to her, but I'm not gonna do anything just yet.
What are you talking about? There's nothing going
You-
on with the stone.
What? Your eyes haven't gotten that bad, have they?
Her eyes have always been good as far as you knew.
I'm still saying that.
Oh. No. Your feet
Okay.
aren't even moving now.
That's correct. Okay. Listen, head back. I need to take care of looking at some stuff. And okay. Give me 10 minutes.
You back away.
Give me 10 minutes.
All right.
One
She
dance.
turns and Mr.
Nobody
Holly's
else.
there.
Yeah. Oh.
She looks at you with
I'm gonna.
like a mother can do.
Yep. All right. I think there's a thing over here I want to take care of. Also, I don't want to be right here right now, so I want to go take a look at the stone. But again, there's no cause for alarm right now. There's nothing I can do. So I'm just heading to the stone, seeing what's up.
Oh, so you're going to the center of the tent where the stone is.
Oh, is that where people are dancing?
Yeah, they're under.
Oh
the tent.
no. Yeah, I will force my way through the throng of bodies. It's like, oh,
think
stop.
They're all sweaty.
Okay, all right, stop grinding on each other.
I
Okay.
thought I'd pull myself out, but they keep pulling me back.
Excuse me. Pardon. Okay, all right.
Yeah, what are you doing? You're like,
When you look at Kian, you see that the stone has this very subtle glow on these shapes all over the stone. Very
Whoa.
subtle. Light, it's green, and it's just barely there, but it's definitely there.
is that supposed to be glowing?
I don't think so. Hey, get the elf. Hey,
Which
hey,
one?
I'll call Vesper. Just over the music.
Can I hear him yelling as I'm approaching?
No, you can't hear him.
Damn it.
Dang.
Okay, hold on. And she's gonna be like trying to. Excuse me, pardon. She's short, so I don't know why you sent her to look for somebody. So she's trying to look for him
You're
in
jumping.
this crowd of people.
Oh, right, because you don't know where he is.
I don't know where he is. And I'm almost as short as the rest of the kids here.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to find this guy.
Okay, well, what's going on at the stone? So what are the patterns like?
They look like maybe symbols of some kind, but no, you don't recognize any of them. They just look like things.
Okay. Do I see any of the compatriots anywhere in the area?
Yeah, you see Eslov, and Vestrin's not far. He just couldn't hear you. His back is turned and he's doing something.
Hey,
somewhere
Eslov.
else.
You got lungs on you, right?
Looks
Or-
over from whatever
yeah.
he was doing. And he,
Can you just push your way through, get that veteran fella?
I look to see where he is, and then I walk over to get him.
You move
It
people
seems
out of the
that-
way to get to him, and
Yeah.
It seems that Kian has called for you.
And at this point, am I with the Kinku? Have I reached the Kinku?
no,
No? So yeah, I was on my way there.
yeah.
I look back to Kinku, and then I look back to Kian, and
I'm
I...
pointing at the rock, if you can.
Do I notice the rock?
The rock is there. It's in the center of the tent. You can't really see except above the tent, but it's just a rock.
What?
All right. Yeah. We'll eventually attempt to get our way together, and I want to tell them about the stone in as painless of terms as possible.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just, we're at that chaotic dance thing,
Yeah.
like, you're like at the bar. What, man?
What?
So-
What?
Yeah. I'll make my way towards him, seeing
Yeah.
that he's obviously trying to get my attention, and I don't know what the heck's going on.
Okay. You get over to him and get in there.
I demonstrate the rock. Do you see weird symbols on it?
Do I
Nope.
see weird symbols?
Nothing.
I don't see anything.
It's a rough-hewn stone, but you don't see any symbols. Excuse me.
Am I going crazy?
Perhaps.
She saw it. Do you see it? Eslov.
Do I see anything?
Nope.
Do I
cannot.
still see it?
I see
Yep.
nothing.
You do, Meadow.
What are you talking about? They're right there.
You were talking to
I will
Shank
look
yesterday.
harder. I'm looking as hard as I can at this rock, trying to see if you see anything.
Nope.
I want to
Is
trace
this
out
some sort of
Here, can I draw out a symbol? I
game
pull a book out of
amongst
my pocket.
Elixians?
I'll pull a book out of my pocket, flip it open. It's got words on it, but I'm gonna just find a margin and scribble down one of the symbols and try and show it off.
Okay. You don't recognize the symbol.
I don't know this symbol, no. That's on the rock right now? You see it on the rock.
Glowing green. Don't know what the hell that means.
I'll look around for more count.
You find them. Why don't you text us, Morkant, through the chat?
Why do they put a gag on him?
Man, this church is rough, man. You piss them off and they make you go silent.
Oh,
Oh no, the silent space has begun.
Zeke said he can switch back.
Alright.
Uh-oh, here we go again.
For what it's worth, once he returns, he should return at the end of the line, so...
It shouldn't change anything.
Yeah.
Everything should be fine.
Morkant, when you show him the symbol, he feels the rock. And he can feel, with his hand, you can just barely feel the symbol cut in. But it's so worn that you can't see it for the most part. It's just like old, like ancient stone. And you remember when you were up on the pole feeling something like this kind of thing.
So the two humans are the only ones that can see the stone glowing.
One moment. And is there like a human near me?
Yeah.
She kind of pulls them. Excuse
Yeah.
me, what do you see on that stone?
Oh, well, all the ribbons and all that are wrapped around the stone in different places. They're beautiful.
Do you see it glowing?
No.
Thank you. And she lets them go back. I don't think it's because we're human.
Morkant says it's the words of the gods.
Yep.
The hell does that mean? Yeah, well, I don't speak ancient word of God.
If I remember correctly, the stones are placed in all the cities, and their names were on the stones at one point. So I think he's saying that those symbols represent what the name of the city is.
But why are me and Kian the only ones seeing it?
And
Matt?
Morkant will tell you that that's what tradition says that those symbols are, but they've been so worn, and they're so old, ancient, no one knows what they mean anymore. That they were the naming stones.
Does that mean you two are going to ascend?
Not if I can help it.
But
Well, if my mother couldn't figure it out, I don't know if you could. But maybe if you stay with us, you can't ascend.
And you turn, you're standing there, and across from you, you see where this person dancing. They fade out of existence. It takes about 10 seconds, and they're just continuing dancing as they do it, and they disappear in the middle of people. And you hear everyone, and then you start seeing other people start to disappear around them. And Eslov, you see people start disappearing around you. And Morkant and Meadow, all of you see people start to just fade away. And Kian starts to fade away.
I grab him.
And when you go to grab him, it's like grabbing your illusions. And then you see a glow in the shape, a green glow in the shape that Kian was in for a moment. And then he reappears. He unfades. And suddenly there's a panic everywhere. And as you turn, you realize there must be half the people gone from here.
Half the people? The children too, or no?
No.
Just
Is
adults.
this supposed to happen?
Adults, no old people, no children. And people start scrambling. I mean, it's hard to even keep your footing as people just panic, screaming and running. It's a moment of terror for people. It's so massive, the numbers, and the glow that you saw in the stone fades away with them.
Just a question, because I know you said Meadow and him. Does the same thing happen to Meadow as well?
Nope.
Just Kian. Well, I guess you can help it, Kian.
Sorry, guys, I had plot armor.
I want to throw up.
Well, Kian faded away.
Yeah, but he doesn't have plot armor.
I'm gonna find a
You
bucket
sure?
for you to throw up
Maybe
in.
he did. I don't know. And Eslav, you can see in everybody's eyes that there's terror going on right now in people. They're panicking like you don't see people. Like your people would never panic like this. But you understand it.
I'll turn to the clerics and the elders. We need to calm these people down.
Asad will start doing what he can to help.
The clerics are freaking out as much as the others. Epania, you see over by where he was standing by the soul, is on his knees with his eyes wide open, and he's mumbling something, but you can't tell what he's mumbling.
I'll walk over and grab him and lift him up to his feet.
You can't get to him easily because there's so many people there. You got to move people out of the way.
I'm moving people out of the way, and I will work my way over to him.
Okay. It's never been like this. What did we do? Did we do something right or did we do wrong? Why
does
so
not
so
matter.
many? Why so many? And
It
tears
does
start
not
running
matter
down.
right now. It does not matter. You need to get your people together and get these people calm before you have more tragedy on your hands.
There's too many. There's too many.
Do what you can. You are a leader in this place. Lead.
And he starts to get up and he stumbles trying to keep himself focused.
I'll catch him. I'll try to catch him.
And his weight suddenly becomes all of his weight on you. And it's almost like he passed out.
Ugh. Morgott! I'm looking around for you.
He runs over, apparently.
That's right, we got a
Or
mime.
can't the mime.
The mime.
We need to get these people calm. Can you find somebody to get your order in order to get these people to calm the hell down? We must do this, or it will be worse.
Kian, the Awok has found his way to you, and so has Olmari. And they grab you. Come with us. Come with us.
I go with.
And they take you away from the crazy.
I was just not for a moment. I am not in a good place.
You're just not. That's a good way of thinking of it.
Meadow's kind of holding on to Kian because she's afraid he's gonna disappear again.
Okay.
So I guess she gets dragged away too.
Yep. And they get you to just off the street where there's no more panic. And the Kenku, he pulls out a book. Tell me what happened. What did you see or hear or anything?
Did I see or hear anything?
Well, something happened. You didn't see, but you heard sound that was not this place, but you don't know what it was. It just felt like like when you're in the middle of the woods at night and you know there's something hunting you, and it just like this panicky dread in you. Just for a moment you could hear that sound that you hear when everything goes silent, but you know that silence is more ominous than the noise.
Okay, so it was silence. It was.
No, there was noise and then it went silent.
Okay. What was the noise?
It was like a place of the wilderness.
Okay. I'll describe that to them. I didn't see anything either.
And they're taking notes and writing, and his book has all kinds of stuff written in it.
Has anyone come back?
You're the first.
Great.
You're the only one. I don't think it's ever happened. Make me a perception check.
16.
The pouch you have, the little stones that were on it, the ivory, have that green glow still a little bit.
Does it say, or does it look like they're symbols, or is it just like...
Nope, they're just glowing around them. And while you're looking at it, the glow fades. And the Omari goes, "Why are you looking at your money pouch?"
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say this might have something to do with it. I will show the ivory bit. This started glowing, same color as the stone, which, by the way, the stone started glowing. According to one of your priests, it says the name of the city, but I don't speak God, so...
And the Kenku goes, "He's such a fool. It's not... I don't wish he wouldn't perpetuate these crimes of knowledge."
What does it mean? What did it say? What?
We don't know what it means. It's been there since before there were people in the world. Who knows if it's names of cities? It's ridiculous.
This pouch had a bit of stone, ivory. I guess it's not stone, but put in the strings.
The strings aren't glowing. It's only the ivory.
Oh, where is the ivory on it?
They wrap part of the end of the string. They're like spaghetti on the end of the string with the string going through the middle.
Sure.
But they're not, they're not soft, obviously. So.
Okay.
They're like corkscrewed.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so the ivory on this is related. If I were a betting man, I'd say this helped keep me from whatever the hell that place is, but, well, I'm not a betting man. Okay. So let me get this straight. You know nearly nothing.
Who are you saying that to?
To both of them.
Oh, to both. Okay. And the Kenku looks at you very... I didn't say that I know nothing. I just don't know if what I know has meaning. Tonight, I need to help with the people that are panicking. We should meet in my home tomorrow to discuss. And he heads out into the crowd. He closes his book.
For the record, I say to Meadow, I am very much panicking, so that feels like a oversight on his part.
You can
But
feel,
Omari hasn't left. Omari is staying with you.
You can feel very tightly, like she's holding you very tightly, like a piece of cloth, and she goes, "Do you think that's what happened to Kevin?"
The ship didn't come back in its entirety, correct?
Correct.
I don't... be a hell of a lot of people to go missing.
But maybe it happened to him. Maybe we can find him.
What makes you think we can find any of the people who ascended?
It had to go somewhere.
Sure. Omari, I don't suppose you've got anything?
I could sense there was a storm coming this eve, but unlike most nights, unlike every other night, I could not see the storm. When Mava and Torve intersected, I could tell something was going to happen, but it was beyond my eye. And he has eyes, by the way, has 2 eyes, but he said eye. This felt like a different night right from the beginning.
Well, I'm glad you gave everybody fair warning on that.
I did.
Sure. All right, we need to get back with whatever the hell the others are up to.
Okay. And when you head out from the alley, there's still people fleeing. There's people who have fallen prostrating themselves, praying and bringing their faces to the ground. And, you know, just the sense of panic. Even when it happened when you were young, there were so few people compared to what you just experienced. It was a tiny number. And this was just one city here.
Would I be able to use prestidigitation to like create a loud sound of stop? You know, like trying to get people to stop what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to basically yell, you know, stop, so everybody knows. Calm down.
And many people stop in their tracks. And a lot of people are shaking. They're like,
Running
just...
does nothing. Running does nothing. We need to know who is still here and who is gone. Everybody needs to calm down so we can figure this out.
Morkent, you know that when an ascension happens, the role of the clerics is to start taking names, start gathering information on who ascended, so that you can start on the next day gathering collections for the families that have been left behind.
Also, he wants to know if there's patches of sound holes, like normal ascension.
And there are sound holes all over the place now.
I want to find my
Points where
mother.
there's no sound. And your mother is on the ground shaking, scared. You know, she was on the dance floor.
Yeah. See, this is why I don't dance. I'll help her. Help
I'm
her
sorry,
out
I
to
shouldn't
get...
be laughing, but that was just funny to me. It's so dangerous dancing.
It's true.
You never know what's gonna happen.
That's when you ascend. When
Yeah.
you dance, you ascend.
And you walk her out.
Well, you can dance if you wanna. You can leave your friends behind.
I think your friends are leaving you behind.
Morkent, as you realize where you need to go, you see Epania is on the ground, face down.
Well, I wouldn't have put him face down. I would have sat him down.
Oh, okay. So he's on the ground, face up.
Yeah.
And his eyes are not moving.
So I will try to, once I get everybody to start to calm down a little bit and the clerics are doing things, I will check him since I'm right next to him.
He's passed away.
Morkant wants to see if he can spare the dying on him.
Oh, that's what he said.
Yeah.
It's so weird coming from you.
I know. I'm just reading what he said.
Yes, he can.
Oh, he's waiting for you to get him in.
Yeah. His eyes move for a moment. What happened?
Your acolyte here saved your life.
What acolyte? Which one?
Morkant.
And he reaches in, he pulls you tight and he hugs you. You need to help the people, whatever they need. I'm so sorry.
It is being handled. I took care of that for you. It's good to see that you're okay.
And your mother she's visibly shaken, and she's walking with you as you get her out of the dance floor, out from under the tent. And when you come out from under the tent, you realize the sky is no longer black. There's still clouds, but there's stars peeking through the clouds in different spots still. Oh, it's like what happened with your father. But it was so many. It was so many. And you walk through a sound hole.
I mean, I'm barely saying much of anything. There's not much.
and she's speaking to you, and you walk through a sound hole, and she doesn't hear any. She doesn't. Suddenly, her voice goes silent. You don't hear anything, and you walk another half a foot or a foot, and the sound, you hear sound again. And even though you know those are there, they feel very disconcerting to be in. They really throw your mind into a weird space when sound is just gone. When people are backing away from everywhere around here that can, and there's now that they've been given a loud enough command, they're starting to gain some composure and try and start helping the ones that are the ones that aren't completely panicked anymore are starting to help, and they're all, you can hear some saying, is it over? Is it over? And they assume it is, because it never lasts more than a few seconds anyway.
Okay. Try to get to safety and
okay.
Regroup. Yeah.
Yeah, you can see that the people you were with are over in front of the soul with the with Apania, who was the top priest.
Then, yeah.
Priest.
Yeah.
And there's some benches there, and there's people who are just standing there looking at nothing around them. They just don't know what to do. And remember, it hasn't happened for 15 years, so in 15 years, people forget what things were when they happened in the past.
Yeah, I mean, I'll regroup with the others then at the soul.
I will be, once I know that Pawnee is okay, I will actually try to guide those lost souls to where they need to be, like to sit down.
Yeah, Apania starts getting the cleric. The clerics are starting to gather people and bring them into the soul to give them a place of shelter and warmth.
I think we should. I don't even know what we do. You see, like, that moment where I took kind of charge. Like, now that it's calmed down, I seem lost myself, just looking around.
It's not a feeling that's inappropriate. This is an appropriate place to feel lost.
This Kian.
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
What was that?
The Festival of Mists.
No. What was that with you?
I pull out the this coin purse that you see. It's got a couple of weird pouches on it. There's a bit of ivory on the end. This started glowing. This bit over here, same color as the rock.
That's what Kevin gave you.
Yeah. Said it come in handy.
She touches her button.
Yeah.
Kevin? Who is this?
And one of your buttons is glowing. It had... No, it's not glowing now. Never mind. Sorry. Retcon that. You didn't hear that. They're not glowing.
A friend of mine. he made for me. He made stuff with his hands. I think it's connected somehow. I can only assume that the reason I didn't go to whatever was on the other side was because something I had was tethering me or something. It's not a happy place, I'll tell you that much. There were
Did Kevin have magic?
not as far as I know. I
No.
mean,
Not that you knew either.
It wasn't a happy place.
it sounded like the woods, and then the silence right before you turn around and there's something jumping at your face. Only I got out there before I turned around and possibly saw something jumping at my face. It was a moment between moments, I guess. So.
Can I see that pouch again? Does it look similar to any of the ivory buttons I have? Like, can I tell if it's kind of made from the same material?
Yes, ivory.
Yes. I meant, like, how faded it is, basically. Like,
It's, you know, all of your buttons are from different animals, so they're all a little different from each other, and this is no different than that. It's a little different also.
So something with ivory. As you said, Kian, it was ivory?
What he said. I mean, I don't know where the ivory comes from.
do I know where the ivory has come from? Like, the options?
Sure, sometimes walrus tusk or narwhal horns.
Oh, right,
or,
yeah.
you know, whales, whalebone.
I'm going to go over and take a piece of that whalebone.
Yeah, it was a narwhal, now that I think about it, now that I'm reminded of it. That's what he said. But I don't know what we're supposed to do with that. I mean,
What's carved into this one?
There are, on his beads, there's a picture of a train that he's leading, and he's at the end of one of them leading the train itself. So if you put them together, it looks like one long train, and he's at the end of it.
So it doesn't matter what's inscribed in it. Do I remember him telling me any of my buttons were made out of narwhal?
What's your intelligence?
My intelligence is 13.
You don't remember exactly what. Sometimes he would say what things were made of, and sometimes not. You don't specifically remember narwhal, but there are some he didn't tell you what they were either.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm trying to make a connection, but I don't quite remember everything my husband said about his creation.
And as you're doing this, Awok walks past you with like 5 or 6 people, bringing them into the soul, and he drops them off, and he comes back. Thank you, Vesrin. That was very, very potent word to bring calm to everyone. I think this may be handled. We should leave here. We have much to discuss. Omari, you should come too.
We should get this Morkant as well.
Yes.
It looks like
Eponia. And Eponia looks at it and he goes, Morkant is coming with us. You can let him go for a time. And Eponia just doesn't even say anything and just nods a little bit. And he's going out trying to get the clerics to do what they're supposed to do. And he's having a little trouble remembering what they're supposed to do sometimes, but he finds it and he gets them doing things. And he's not panicked anymore, but he's just so sad and distraught. You know, tears are running down his face, and he's helping under duress in such a bad way. There's nothing more you can do here. Come. And he starts walking with his cane, and Omari catches up and walks at his side. All of you.
Let's go. Yes? Eslov, will you come with us?
I have nowhere else to go.
Him, of course, him.
Meadow, your husband seems to have something to do with why Kian didn't go. Maybe you should, like he said, you should come. Maybe we can.
And
all
he
figure it out.
stops and he points at all of you, and Omari. All of you had something going on with this in some way. I don't know what. And he keeps going.
Let's go.
Sure. Yeah.
I think this is a good spot. I don't know if you heard, but Brandon's back in with his cell phone, real quick.
Oh, this is where we're gonna break, though.
Oh, okay.
Perfect. Perfect.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for coming to the first session of Mysts of Elixia. It was a really wonderful night. Everybody is having a really happy time. There's joy all around.
I'm definitely the reaction we're having right now.
Brandon says he's sorry for the audio problems.
It's okay.
We'll have him fixed up next time.
It'll be fixed next time, yes. I'm going to head over to Discord if anybody wants to chat, and we will see you next Saturday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Check your time zone. Thank you for the follows and the subs that came in during the session. It was really awesome to see that. We will talk to you later. Everybody I think there's a couple plugs you should give real quick before you head out, and then we'll go.
You want to go first?
Show of Hurricane Philosophy, DM's Guild, check it out. Also got a one-shot coming out called Swamps of Blightmaw this Tuesday. That'll be fun. That's all.
I got some stuff on DM's Guild, as we talked about Children of Tiamat. Also, check out my shirts on Amazon, and find me on Mindflayed Mun on Twitter.
All right. Good night, everybody. See you next time.
Good night.
All
Good
right.
night. Great job, man. It was a blast.
And
Sorry, Scott, I didn't know if you were going to go longer, and I thought it was like we got past